All right, and we're live. Welcome back, everyone. This is Let's Hash It Out, episode 24. Uh,
Yeah.
so, welcome. Bit going on this week. And so let's see. So, first thing that's in my mind is Elizabeth Warren. Second thing in my mind is Gary Gensler, the arrogance, right? And let's see. The other thing is Coinbase being hacked. So right now, do not use. I'm sorry, not
Ledger.
Coinbase. Ledger being hacked. So right now, do not use your Ledger, Ledger Live or anything with any D apps. Again, another reason why I don't particularly care for the Bluetooth version of Ledger Nano, but this kind of brings me back to paper wallets of days old. Another thought that, like, within Digibyte, I would like Renzo to, you know I don't know. There were ways that we did it offline many years ago for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin mainly, but then we had to import.
Yes, you got to be able to import it somewhere.
Right. And currently, the way to import, like if you have those old Bitcoin wallets from 2014, 15, 16, and 17 paper wallets, you can actually import those wallets into the Coinami app.
Yep, they can
Um,
sweep it.
exactly.
Yep.
So any of your old dust that was out there, you could just go back there and recollect it. But yeah, I makes me wonder about like Digibyte and a few others of moving back to a day of paper wallets,
I,
where
I,
I can just print out 100 paper wallets offline and
yep.
double laminate them, put them in a back cave, you
Yep.
know.
The thing with that is, I mean, if you've got the core wallet of any of those protocols, you can import. You see on the paper wallet, usually it'll have the private key on there. They got some mechanism to cover it up. If you type that in, there's an import priv key or some command. So even if Coinomi doesn't work or these other wallets don't work for some reason, I mean, that core wallet, you can still import that private key, and boom, it'll show up in your core wallet. So that's cool. It'd be nice to be able to generate them, off that somehow, output a paper wallet. I mean, you can output the private keys and the public keys like in a list, but then you're typing it in. It'd be nice to have a QR code, but I guess you could copy it and then do. I mean, there's ways to do it. It'd just be nice if the tools were better. I guess that's the thing. We need better tools to make this a little easier.
And then let's see, the other thing in the news that I caught was not Caitlin Long. I think it was who was it? Not
Like Kathy Wood or something.
Kathy Wood. That's it.
Man, just came to me.
With the Coinbase, her selling her shares of Coinbase equity. So that was other headlines, and it's like she was knee deep in Coinbase and whatnot, buying a lot of that, and now that's up for sale. So or she sold it all, took profit, or not all, but took profit. So again, watch what they do, not what they say.
And
So
Coinbase going to either, I don't know if it was China, Japan, or both. The significance of now Coinbase being over in that country.
and then what else? The other billionaire was selling off
Buffett.
a lot of Buffett. Warren Buffett was selling off a lot and moving more into cash, and it's like, so
What's that?
yet again, what are they trying to tell us by their actions?
Yep. Probably going to be a big dip coming, and then they're going to swoop in and buy everything up with that cash on the sidelines, most likely, right?
I'm going to tell you this. Housing markets should have gone down with the interest. They're not going down. I look at that market every day, and I'm ready for that explosion that everybody's talking about, to where blood on the streets, and whoever's controlling that market has got a very tight hold on it.
Well, Javier, you might want to look at it this way. what if the housing market is in a dip right now, but only because you haven't seen the explosive prices coming out later?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the velocity of
hyperinflationary
money,
bump.
the velocity of money that was printed hasn't entered yet. So like
Right.
a
Well,
hyperinflation.
Hey,
let me
we're
ask
going
you
to run
this.
$1 trillion deficits for the foreseeable future. They announced it. I mean, they've said it's going to be $1 trillion
besides that,
going in debt every year, minimum.
besides that, the people printing the money are the only ones. I mean, we have gotten to the point where it's got to be upper class. It's not middle upper class that can afford. Nobody can afford to change
Not really, Javier.
from
So
your
what you see
3%.
happening in the
You are
US?
well.
Not really.
This
What
is
you
what
see
I
happening
see.
is some real estate companies actually moved away to building smaller homes. So they still build their homes and have their profit margin, but they just build smaller homes that are cheaper so they can still sell. Because the interest
Well,
Yeah.
rate went up and the mortgages
$80,000
got
on
less.
2 wheels.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
really.
Because
Hey.
I'm not.
And
I'm
Hey,
that's an
Dave,
okay
I'm going to
path.
be honest with you. It's still better than a tent.
Yeah.
It's better than a tent, but here's where I'm seeing the people that have the money can't leave. They were in at 3%. If they get out now, they can't buy
Right. Unless they
what
have
they
cash.
have right now. So they're stuck. There are people that are losing their houses. They've continued to go up. I don't understand. A lot of somebody's still buying. And if they're too big to fail again, why not? If you
What
print the
was
money,
Well,
what was the bill though? Wasn't it Robert Kennedy running for president said something about, BlackRock or these big companies,
yeah.
they can't buy these houses anymore. We need to put some kind of
right.
restrictions on
Exactly
them.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what percentage was. It was something like BlackRock's bought
40.
or those. Yeah, some
40.
huge number. Yeah, they're buying all these houses.
40%.
You got the money.
Yeah, they bought for like since 2017 apparently they bought for 10% more than market value,
'Cause they
which
don't
propped
care.
up the prices.
Are they too big to fail?
Probably.
Of course they are. We buy them
Of
out
course.
because we socialize the losses, so we put it on the taxpayer.
Yeah.
That's what we
Taxpayer,
see happening
get
right
ready.
now. So what you
Get
see is
ready.
like first you got layoffs, and then with Warren Buffett, what Dave just mentioned, you should see them selling stock or doing buybacks. So first you lay off everyone, and then you're doing buybacks. And at some point, you're just gonna fuck the company and have the taxpayers, bail them out. But you bought up all the shares with the profits, so you then never gave profits back to society. You just put them in your own pocket because you prop up the stock price. And then the
Sure.
same thing with the woman from Coinbase. You see her
Well, the
selling shares.
buybacks came from the PPP money. So they could, many different companies had to give it back. It's like they
Well,
shouldn't have even been able
I
to
think a
claim
lot
that.
less gave back than was supposed to. But Clint, let me
It
ask
was
you
like
this.
$7 trillion in money for COVID. I mean,
You
it
can
got
put-
Only
just-
7 trillion.
Hey, Westwood,
That
you
we
could
know
pull
of.
out your checkbook and
Yeah.
start buying houses.
I could pull it out and write checks, no problem. I
Yeah,
can do that.
knowing
Oh,
that
you take a
in the
check.
future
Yes.
they're gonna give you the opportunity to too big to fail. Why wouldn't you write checks for all the houses
Right.
you could buy?
No, absolutely. And I mean, when you have access
Well, it's
to
the
the money
same
before
thing.
everybody else, or you have
It's the
money,
same thing all over as the 08 and the .com bubble, right? It's the same thing.
Well, with one
It's the
thing
same
different.
thing. It's the same playbook. Well, one thing
Yeah,
different. I think
Well,
what's different?
Fannie
Are
Mae
we
ain't
different?
buying. Fannie Mae ain't buying. Freddie Mac ain't buying. That's the
Buying
difference.
what?
Yeah, just
Buying
a
the
different
house.
owner of the Federal Reserve
It's a
who
different
has
owner. but
BlackRock, right?
right?
Yeah, it was
Corporations.
Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They're not the ones buying this time.
No, it's one of the shareholders of the Federal Reserve.
Well, probably my buddy, or probably my
You-
buddy Diamond.
You love it.
He's going to be saved. He always gets saved.
Dave's dreaming about, SEC chairman, I don't want to say Greenspan. I don't even talk about Greenspan.
Chancellor.
Gensler. And,
Gary.
and
Good
Irrational
game.
exuberance.
Pocahontas. And,
GG.
Oh, yeah.
and
Laya
then
Walker.
you're dreaming about Jamie Dimon. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're having weird dreams.
You're dreaming about Double G, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming about scotch and cigars. I mean,
Yeah. One day we'll have another Boston Tea Party somewhere else, but maybe. Right now, too dangerous. Man.
craziness.
Too dangerous.
Right now, it's just stacking your acorns. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now's the time to
wait,
do
and
that.
waiting for that next date. I think we got it on the 21st of solstice.
Oh,
Is it
that's
solstice?
it. The
Is
solstice,
it
the winter
solstice?
solstice. Yeah, the 21st. That's when things are going to go south. The sun's
Okay,
going to
ready.
go south.
I'm ready
Right.
again.
I saw a
ready?
video on the
Y2K.
ETF. I saw a video on the ETF probably being approved by the 8th of January.
That's a good one. They moved it, what, 2 weeks back? We've been doing this for how long?
They keep
Yeah,
moving it.
constantly
It
getting
started-
postponed.
It
We're going
started
on
with
10
Westwood.
years. I'm going
Yeah,
on
We
10
have an
started
years.
with
all-time
Westwood.
high.
That's crazy. Isn't
We
it?
had an all-time
Litecoin
high
and-
yesterday in the
2
stock
weeks.
market for like industrial tech. We had an
Yeah.
all-time high because
Yeah.
the rates didn't change. You know, Powell decided not to do anything and everything rallied.
And see how they manipulate the market, though. I mean, nothing changed other
No,
than
I
words
never
week.
saw that.
No,
I
all
never
they do
saw
is
that,
come
right?
out and say next year we're probably going to cut rates 3 times, so the markets go crazy. We're going to liquefy again. All right, we're back in business. All right, the money's going to roll.
We're so back.
I
We're so
mean,
over.
Well, and put it this way. Here's the weird thing that I've been noticing. Everything is a bag of chips, $5. Everything is
Oh yeah, and it's that big. Used to be
Oil,
this big. Now it's this
oil
big.
going down. Oil.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where I'm paying
Barrel of oil
$3.50
dropped
for
under
diesel.
$70. You know, everything's good.
Yeah.
Well,
not?
if oil stays low, Russia doesn't make a profit below $40 a barrel, and you kind of, keep them in check.
I think that game is over, man. I remember when oil was negative. Our dollar's still strong, brother.
And the crazy thing is, though, that nobody really talks about. I mean, maybe they do. I just don't get out much. But the U.S. is the biggest energy exporter in the world, or producer in the world now. And I mean, and we're talking like we got to import all this stuff, and how hard it is. But it's like we're. I mean, you think about Bidenomics and how horrible it is. But I mean,
Well, it's about the
energy's
LNG, right?
we're still producing here. I mean, it probably is.
It's
yeah.
about
I mean, we're
selling-
still producing a lot of energy here in the
Mm.
midst
Well,
of all this.
Obviously, because the LNG that you provide goes to refineries in the Netherlands for Europe, also for the German market, because Nord Stream's no longer there. So,
Because somebody blew it up.
they need it. Yeah, I wonder who.
Wonder who benefited. Huh?
Oops. I didn't know. Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? That winter blend that they always talk about,
Yeah.
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard about the winter blend. I
It's
guess
global
y'all are
warming.
having a real mild
It's
winter.
global
over there.
warming, climate change. We don't need the winter blend anymore. Everything's fine. The planet's heating up. Don't need to do the winter blend.
No
We're
more
good.
winter blend.
No more winter
Some of these
blend.
people here don't even realize what the hell I'm talking about.
I know. Starts in
With
You're
the
talking
winter
about snow.
blend.
Javier, you're probably talking about snow bunnies and mermaids.
I am.
But if
Gotta
you
keep
run
them
into
warm.
I'm wondering. I'm wondering what the what the videos are gonna look like for Christmas shopping and whatnot. Like I caught one for Black Friday where it was like one person there to
But it
walk
was
in
the
the
best
store.
Black Friday ever. It was the best one ever. Oh, I made so much money.
Spend, baby. Spend.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
credit card
I'm
gets full, get
curious.
another credit
I'm
card.
curious what Christmas is going to be like this year. Not just
What,
for
in Gaza or in the
myself, but
US?
for in the U.S.
Chris Kringle.
Baby Jesus in the rubble.
Baby
Yeah,
Jesus
dude, we
in
get
the
another
rubble.
credit
The
card.
manger has fallen down. Baby
You fill
Jesus
that
is
one
in the
up?
rubble.
Yeah, you fill that one up. I did one. I have. You know what? I listened to Lisa yesterday, and she had mentioned that 23 states were looking to,
Gold and silver.
that are already accepting
Yeah, legal tender.
silver and gold as currency.
I just wonder how
That's-
that works, though, because okay, so
Yeah.
who's accepting it? Is it like you have to accept it if you're a business in that state, or is it
That
the
was my
government has to
question.
accept it for taxes? You know what I mean? Because think about it, carrying around gold and silver and paying with it, you take it anywhere in a certain state, most people are gonna be like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
No.
I don't have
Exactly.
a scale. I don't know what I'm doing,
But they are. Is it the government
Right.
for
I
our
don't know.
taxes?
We need
Is
to hash that out.
and nobody's cashing out right now, but it's interesting that there's that many. I didn't know that they would take that as currency, and I'm like,
Well, it
okay,
is constitutional money after all. So
it
maybe.
should be. And my thing is, if it goes up, is that when you do what they did in Venezuela, 2-3 ounces buys you a house, or I don't know what's going on.
Probably at some point.
Let's wait, Javier. Let's talk about that one. Venezuela
Okay.
and their war with British
Yes.
Guyana.
Yes, they need some more oil. They're going to take what is rightfully theirs. They're going to claim it.
Who?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Guyana?
rightfully
Venezuela.
across
They're
the
gonna
border.
claim what's rightfully theirs.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Why not? Let's dogpile.
You know.
And then we have
what's gonna happen?
Argentina.
Where's the U.S. involved in this? Oh, they're not, because we're looking the other way, because we kind of
Well,
had to make a deal with Venezuela for a little this and
I'm
that.
glad you-
Yeah, we looked the other way for the dictators, and let them do what they
I'm-
want to do.
I'm glad you said Argentina steak, because I heard that
Argentina
new
steak?
president. Well, I heard.
Milei.
the
I hear they
president-
got good beef.
But I also heard that we are negotiating with our dollars for the lithium that they have there. This is
Probably.
And
It would make
just,
sense.
Didn't he just, the new president,
Didn't
just
he
came
not
in,
want
put him
our
back on the
dollars?
dollar standard? Isn't that what he
He
just
did.
did?
He did two major things. So
So that's
first
kinda
he
big, isn't it?
moved. First he moved from 21 ministries to 9. So he just got rid of 12 of the 21 ministries. That was kind of a big move. And then he
Right.
devalued the currency by 50%.
Mhm.
That was another big move. But
And
all
then I think
before he said I'm a Jew. So
well,
that was
he
a
is
funny
pro-Israel.
move.
Whatever that means.
It's pro money. But it could be that he's actually trying to. It's a testament to the end of the game, right? Where a country that's been through so much hardship like Argentina is finally getting their shit in order again rapidly. It's like we're gonna throw this whole script around. We'll do this, and it's done. It's like look at how quickly they could clean up San Francisco. Look up how quickly they can clean up a country.
It can be
It's
done
they-
like that, just like that.
Yeah, they got the shit
anywhere
by
in
the
world,
balls.
but they don't do it.
They know how
Because
it
there's
works.
money and profit to be made. There's a system that needs to control everybody, and we got to have a narrative. And
Yeah, but
why
you
fix
know,
it?
Yeah,
Why
talk
fix it for
about
the
weird
people?
things
shit,
are changing rapidly though.
They are.
yeah.
I mean,
correct.
what I'm also looking at is like in the Netherlands and in Germany, there's conversation about changing the constitution. Do you know how big that is?
Really? I mean, in what
You know
way?
how fucking big that is?
Yeah.
Well, in what way? Just
Yeah,
the
well-
fact that you say, well,
Right, to
we-
change it is
mostly-
a big deal.
mostly because of immigrants. They just want to close the border, and they even want to go out from under the agreements made by the UN. They even want to go out of the humanitarian agreements and be like, basically from a sovereign perspective. But if you do that, you basically get rid of the whole democratic process, which is a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
And the fact that several Western countries here in Europe have voted, if you would say so, a far right or even an extreme right cabinet into office in Spain, in Germany, in Sweden, in the Netherlands, in England. It's going to happen in England. In Sweden, for example, they had gang warfare for a very long time, right? With like immigrants, mainly Somalis. I'm sorry if I hurt someone, but
Well, I mean,
that
if
was the
you're- if
ethnicity. It doesn't
facts
matter
are
if it's a
facts.
Somali.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a Somali or another country, but there was huge numbers in rape and in women feeling unsafe and several things. So here's what Sweden just did. They sent in the army. They just sent in the army. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine in the US if the army would just come into like, I don't know, give me a
Just any
shithole.
city.
Shit.
They go to
I'll tell you
Detroit.
this.
Army goes to
Yeah.
Detroit. Army goes to Detroit, wipes the city clean in 2 days, installs new factory, and it's like, okay, Detroit's back on the map. It's like just like that.
I think
And you
Warrior
see that in
Plus-
Sweden happening now. You see it in the Netherlands happening now. You see it in Germany. You see it in Spain, in France. It's brewing. with the revolts in England, Farage is on like that celebrity bullshit show in order to prop him up in becoming the new prime minister. It's very very obvious. You got Maloney in Italy. It's like whole Western Europe is rapidly moving towards closing the borders in one arm.
I think
It's like
Warrior
rapidly
put,
going authoritarian, but rapidly, like in months, just like that, all in sync. Poland has like the new Donald Tusk, which is pro-European. He used to be the president of the European Commission. It's
Warrior
it's
put
it's a
Paris
coincidence,
signed
right?
Signed the new
Nothing to see
accord,
here.
whatever that means to.
Let me look.
I'm not
Sorry,
familiar
Javier?
much with.
Sorry, Javier.
Warrior just posted. Didn't he
Didn't
sign
he
the new
who-
Paris Accord also?
Which
Are
one?
we talking about the
Who's he?
Argentinian?
I don't know. That's just what Warrior put.
Or Donald Tusk?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think most signed it, but it's like
Yeah, he's saying the guy from Argentina.
Probably,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah. I mean, again, when a leader is needed, one will be presented. That's basically what it comes down to. I mean,
I like that.
that's true
When-
though.
when-
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
one will
I mean,
be
so-
offered.
Exactly. One will be offered, or one will be selected, maybe. Offered
Yeah, but be
and
careful.
selected behind the scenes, not elected.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of how the world has worked. And if for several hundred years, especially
That's the
in
way
modern
we
day.
have worked the world.
Yeah,
That's
and I
the way-
mean, exactly. And it's just that, if you think they're going to save you, you might want to
Ask
think
him-
twice. They got there for a reason. Most of the people
Yeah.
that are trying to save you either got paid off, they don't want to deal with it, they get assassinated, they don't make it to that position. So the people that
Ask
make it,
Gaddafi. Ask Saddam. Saddam got put in there by who? Gaddafi
well,
got put in
I
there.
think he was a
by
CIA
who?
agent at one point, right?
I am not sure,
Dare
but
I
I do.
say?
I could go and I could show you a president that also had a
asset,
son in there,
not an agent.
shaking hand in hand and putting them in there.
CIA is
particular
just
time.
a fall agency.
Just coincidence, I guess.
Well,
I
either
think we
you
were
comply or
I
you
think
die.
there was somebody. I
Yeah.
think there was somebody named Juan, Harvard educated, that they tried to put in Venezuela. But how weird is it?
Well, you know
we
what they
couldn't
say,
accomplish
Javier,
that?
in Spain. You know what they say in Spain, Javier?
No, but I'm ready. They say it funny. They speak a little.
They say
different.
Juan BTC is Juan BTC.
That's exactly what they say. They say that in Mexico too.
Be your own
Wow.
bank.
Why did
Use
Mickey
the
see?
assets that are available.
They just have to use a little different dialect, but yeah, it's about the same. And it's a safe coin to run to Bitcoin, up to a point. I know
Well,
I don't.
I-
Hard to spend the most, but it is a safe coin to store.
we can't spend the damn thing, but
It's
we
hard to
could. We
spend,
could.
but it's easy to store. Just saying.
But what did our old guy say? Bernie Madoff. Tradition, not Madoff. Bernie.
Bernie
Sanders?
Sanders?
No, the one after
Weekend at Bernie's?
Greenspan.
That's the Biden White
Yeah,
House
we-
weekend at Biden's.
That's Weekend at Biden's. Yeah.
Prop him up.
Weekend
Oh,
at
shit.
Biden's, yeah.
Yeah, where they go.
That's
yeah,
for sure.
Tradition.
Who's wearing the
Reason-
mask today?
Why do we use gold? Tradition.
Hey, don't go there. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, that
about
was a big one too, right? Alex Jones being reinstated on Twitter and that whole show with him,
That's
Vivek,
huge.
and
Did you watch
Tate.
Steak? Did you watch that interview with Tucker
Yeah, we have
Carlson
some
and
more
Alex
briefing.
Jones?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm just curious what people think because I've always followed Alex Jones for a long time. I've watched his stuff. And a lot of people, when they look at Alex Jones, they hear in the mainstream media what's reported. But I think that interview with Tucker Carlson last week with Alex Jones, I mean, if somebody watched it now and listened to the guy speak, they'd be like, yeah, I agree with that. And Tucker even said it. He's like, yeah, I'm agreeing with Alex Jones. And it's like, yeah, because he's kind of said all this stuff before it's happened. And, all of the
How
things that people-
desensitized did we get?
well, that's it. How many, all the people said, oh, he's talking about Sandy Hook and all these things. Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. Well,
And then
Yeah, and then
And then-
He was sued for
And then
$1
it
billion
happens.
because of
Oh, you
Sandy
lost $1
Hook.
billion in court. Yeah, they said, hey, you got to pay $1 billion because you said
And-
something.
And
Okay.
then everything disappears.
No, that's the
No.
big deal. I mean, it really is, because you see that truth movement, and you think about whatever you want about Elon Musk. But the fact that when he bought Twitter and did what he did with it and has opened it up for a lot more information that's coming out that didn't used to come out, because I mean, face it, all the evidence shows that the governments were hijacking it and using it and censoring people.
Yes.
I mean, let's
Yes.
just let the information out. And if you're an idiot, you're an idiot.
Well-
if I'm going to get on here and talk like an idiot and make a video, then don't watch me. I'm an idiot. But
I do it
let
all
me
the
be an
time.
idiot. Who
I do it
cares?
all. I do it all the
Who
time.
cares? But
Well, I haven't seen the interview yet.
You should watch it.
What was said in the
curious
interview?
Your perspective of him, and where he's coming from, and because a lot of people in America shut down. Anytime Alex Jones, the guy's radical, he's extremist,
No,
and this and that. But
people
what
are
he's
fed up.
talking about is real stuff that we're all concerned with. It's just that he has a very flamboyant way and very passionate about it and loud. And
Well, I'll be very honest. Look, if you're scrutinized as much as him, and you're calling it out as much as him, you basically have that type of personality. And for a long time, I've always wondered and thought, maybe this guy's just a little bit too much off the rails. And obviously, he's not correct about everything.
nobody is.
But there
He
is
belongs at Westwood.
there is some things. You what?
He belongs at Westwood.
I'll pour the first drink. He
Well-
belongs at Westwood. Yeah, we can
You
hang
know,
out.
there's a few things he said, years in advance that have come true.
Mhm.
Turning the frogs gay with the
Mhm.
microplastics.
Right.
That was an interesting bit.
Everybody thought he was
I think the
nuts.
child pornography, it doesn't seem that he's very wrong about that neither. There's definitely some truth there with cover-ups. I don't think Epstein killed himself.
Bilderberg group
what else?
meeting, in private, and a bunch of
No, dude,
multinationals getting together, making decisions, and
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah,
of
that
people
seems
running
fair.
around naked in the Bohemian Grove, making decisions.
That seems
president
fair.
Showing up.
And
Well,
also
what
his
stage are
last
we in?
interview before he got banned on Twitter, which has never been about free speech. And then you got like the Twitter files and like Elon reinstating him. I'm happy they did that. But I get his point. And I understand that there's people like him, and it might also be necessary that there's people like him. But the only problem that I have, and it's not just Alex Jones, it's on the other side of the political spectrum as well, is that all this shouting and finger pointing makes it real hard to have a nuanced conversation for the public, because either you belong in camp left or camp right. You're either red or blue.
It's a good point.
And I understand that it's like that, but that's also the way we're being divided. And if I look at Alex Jones' material, I think it's very ad targeted. I think it's it uses very elaborate techniques to sway me deeper into his narrative. So he's guilty of that too,
Sure.
by conscience, to sell things, and he has every right to do that. But it doesn't really help the argument when he says, they make deals to manipulate you. I'm like, dude, you're doing the exact same thing. So it's just the pot calling the kettle black. And that's
but
where I
that's
have
the
an
only way
issue.
they
But
can
because
do
it
it.
makes it, well, I get that, but it does make it very difficult for like the average citizen that's not that well informed. Because it's, let's face it, even I am not, but I'm spending hours at the shit in order to make sense of a lot of things. And the market is too big for me to follow. So it's like, it's just hard to fact check someone that's so far on the extremes. Could be completely true what they said, could be completely false. On both sides, right? Not just Alex Jones, but on both sides. So I like the fact that there's some balance to the whole woke movement. I like that. I don't like the fact that at least here in the Netherlands, we've had what 25 years of like a right-wing cabinet and austerity politics. I think that's not balanced. So it just shows that we're gradually moving in the world to a little bit more authoritarian. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. You're either with us or you're against us kind of mentality.
Yeah, you know, if you have nothing to hide,
that's
don't worry about
dangerous.
your privacy. It's all that bullshit. As if privacy is only there to hide things.
Yeah.
It's just
You got curtains on your windows, you got a lock on your door.
well, you know, if privacy is
know?
dead, I want to know the color of the Biden's panties. You know,
Wait,
I
Well,
want to
get the
see them.
laptop. All you got to subscribe to the Patreon, the Hunter Biden
Titty
Patreon.
pink?
You can see all the videos and see all the panty colors.
It's
Uh,
just
if they're
look.
brown.
I can also not help to think that Alex Jones' reinstation, but now I'm going deeper than deep and maybe a little bit cuckoo. Is also like a good diversion. I mean, this dude had
Yeah.
800,000 followers, and it increased to 1.6 million, so it doubled in a
Doubled.
day.
Doubled.
So there's a lot of people there being targeted. Let's face it, 800,000
You're gonna get
followers in a
targeted.
day.
No, you're right.
That's a fuckload. And you know, we always know that once the media blows up one thing, the hand thing, you know, the hand to the left, you know, keeps you occupied to the left, the hand moves on the right.
Look,
You know, what's the other hand doing?
Yeah.
So what happened? Like what really happened? And I think whatever the fuck happened has gone awfully quiet under the radar because I haven't been able to find anything.
Well,
It's
just
so
today.
hard.
Well, just today we had the National Defense Authorization Act, you know, which was $880 billion, you know, for the Defense Department budget. In that, they renewed
Okay.
the FISA warrants to where they can do, you know,
Of
complete
course.
wireless,
more
you know,
rights.
unwarranted search of,
Yeah, we
of
lost
people.
more of our rights.
Well, they just keep
Wait,
renewing
is
it.
wait. What? Hold up. Rewind. A little bit of a timeout. So, Clint, did this? Was this like? Is this now law?
Well, nothing's law. It's all statute. But basically what they did, and they've been doing this since after 9/11. They have the FISA court. I can't remember what the acronym means, but basically they have a tribunal of judges that can sit
I know.
private. Yeah. Okay. So you're aware of it. All right. So they can essentially just, you know, issue
A mandate.
a mandate, you know, something that's unconstitutional, that violates your privacy, violates your rights, and they can listen to
Sure,
anything they want.
but this
and
new
give
thing,
instru-
this new act, this
Yeah.
new bill, is
They
it
do-
is
they
it
do
like a
all the time.
proposal or is it voted in?
No, it's
Is it
voted in by
approved?
Congress.
Proposal.
Well, Congress votes it in, and the president
Wait,
signs it.
let me tell you how it
Congress
works, Jake.
voted in.
So
they
it's
funded it.
is it done?
Pretty much all Biden has to do is sign it.
Let me tell you how
Oh.
it works.
Does he know?
The
Does he know what his autograph is?
Well, that's it. Somebody's gonna,
But-
you know, hold his hand and, you know, here, right here,
Yeah.
the X.
But
Yeah.
Jake, this is what
Sorry,
happens.
Javi. I just wanted to know.
The next Black Swan, boom, it's ready. We got it ready for you. Kind of like when we lost all of our rights on our phone. They already had it ready the next day. And that's what we're not seeing. We're being
What was that
played.
686 act again? What was that 686 act again from Mark Warner?
Restrict Act.
Yeah. So what's different between the Restrict Act and this one? Because it sounds awfully the same.
It just
Yeah.
codifies it. It just puts it in front of the public.
So
I mean,
is
they're just
this
saying
like
they're gonna
is
do it.
this a different thing than the Restrict Act, or is this like an evolvement of the Restrict Act?
That's what
It's
they
just a
missed out the first time.
continuation of the same thing that's been going on. See, I think they've already
Right.
they already own it.
So is Mark Warner connected to that military industrial complex then?
Probably because I think he was the governor of Virginia, which is a big military industrial complex
Oops.
state. So, you know,
So this thing that's been voted in, the acronym, by what party was it proposed?
both of them did it.
No. By what party proposed that new bill?
I don't know who proposed it. It was probably I don't know. I don't want to speak to it because we had a Democratic Senate pass it, and then we had a Republican.
Can we
House pass it.
Google like who wrote it?
Yeah, who's the one that the genesis of it, right?
Because I'm on my fucking bike
Yeah,
right now. Who wrote it? And who passed it? Congress passed it, but who wrote it? The F blah blah blah.
And NDAA was the act, and FISA came in like right after 9/11. So that's been reauthorized every freaking year,
Right, so
4 years,
FISA.
whatever it is. Yeah.
So FISA is the
Let's
act, right?
Go back to the genesis of the FISA Act. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Foreign intelligence. However, they use it on American citizens, because I guess we're all foreigners to our own country.
Okay. So who was the
Let's
main
see.
driver behind FISA?
It's going to take a little digging here. Let's see.
Is that the Pentagon? Is that CIA?
I'm looking.
Somebody
'Cause it's
trying
foreign?
to keep us
Yeah,
safe.
somebody in the chat maybe can spit it out faster than I can look it up. U.S.
'Cause
federal
what I wanna do-
law establishes surveillance, collection of foreign intelligence on domestic
Is it the
soil.
DOJ?
All of the above.
Okay,
Yeah, ding ding
okay,
ding.
here it is. The original. Okay, get this. The original legislative history introduced in the Senate, because this has gone back many, many years. 1978 is when it first started, and then they kind of, expanded it. 1978, introduced in the U.S. Senate, S. Bill 1566 by Ted Kennedy, senator from Massachusetts, May 18th, 1977. That's the origin of it.
Right.
And then it's gotten worse
Kennedy.
since. Yeah, Kennedy, one of the families.
Really?
Oops.
There you go.
Make you feel
Huh.
better?
Well, no.
Just to me, it don't matter. It hasn't
To me,
mattered
it
in a
does,
long
because
time.
I want to know what party is behind the execution of that. So, what party executes that FISA law?
He was a Democrat.
No,
Kennedy
but like,
was, but
what part of your government's institution enforces that FISA law?
I
Well,
guess
they
it'd
have
be
to
the
agree,
executive branch.
and both of them are agreeing.
The executive branch. So, what part of the executive branch does that? What is it called? What department does that?
You have three.
No, it's a
Got me
serious
thinking.
question.
No, I know what you're saying.
There's a because what I would like to know,
It's probably the Department of Justice, but I don't know. Injustice.
if it's the DOJ, that would make sense, but it would also be fucking brilliant.
I know what you're saying. I kind of know where you're going with this.
Good,
No, I think I do.
because I wanna look at ORAN and the party that's responsible for the enforcement of that FISA. There's a hardware contractor there on the US end that I want to know about.
And it could be the FBI to help the FBI identify the extent of foreign governments kidnapping. Okay, FBI. A lot of FBI hits coming up, which is under the Department of Justice and DOJ.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's not foreign, that's federal.
Right.
Translate it for us, Steak.
No, I'm just
Translate it. You still with me? Clint's
Yes,
with
sir.
me.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm not.
you have Mark Warren talking with Jerry
who's in
Breton in
who's
the
in
EU.
charge of the DOJ right now? Let's just look at that.
Isn't that guy called Garland?
I think so.
Isn't he the same guy that's talking about the 6th of January? Isn't he the same guy that got stopped CZ from getting on a plane because he got one of the largest fines in the history of the US with Binance and also after Tether
Well,
in regards to anti-money laundering? Isn't that the same Garland?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. I know so.
Coincidence, dearest.
there.
No, well, the Department of Justice basically handles the connection of the U.S. financial market from a data perspective to everything else that goes abroad. So everything that's everything from data outside of the U.S. in the U.S. gets handled by the DOJ. So in that sense, it's kind of like interesting that they call it foreign, FISA, foreign,
Right.
the first
foreign.
F. Yet it's the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that actually handles that internally in the US. It makes sense. So would that mean that it's the FBI that worked with Interpol and not the CIA that works with Interpol. So the FBI is like the police on steroids, right?
Yep. I
Right.
know where your connections are coming from. I see.
So that's
you're
that's
zoning
interesting
in on
because
you're zoning in on the key points that connect the dots, and and that's I get where you're coming from.
well, the interesting bit I think is that the hardware that you need in order to secure everything goes by different entities and is separate from the FBI, because it isn't the FBI that has jurisdiction over the hardware of intelligence. You know, they're only the boots on the ground. They're only there to make sure that everything works well. They're housekeeping. They're not really building the house. So who's the architect and the builders of the house? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Where's the brain in the US? So I kind of got rid of the FBI. The FBI is not the brain. The DOJ is not the brain. So who's building the hardware behind that FISA Act? Who's behind that?
Bring
This
it,
is the
brothers.
person that has been controlling our
Are we talking about
presidents.
DARPA? Are we talking about NSA?
Maybe.
Well, NSA is the first
CIA?
thing that popped into my head, but I don't.
Homeland
I don't know
Security?
That for a fact.
Homeland Security?
And you got to think Homeland Security did not exist until after 9/11. So, that gave them a pretext to develop Homeland Security. It's hard to say. I don't know.
Or
It's
you won't.
interesting. So what no, it's too difficult of a question. Never mind. We're
Right.
not going to
Well,
find that.
Yeah, he's limited. Clint can only take about, right?
I can only take so much,
Yeah.
before I go full Alex Jones. So,
Well, I think I would love to pick Alex Jones's brain in a one-on-one,
right.
and be
you're
like,
right. And see
or in a
what's
small group without
really-
cameras and shit, and just,
right.
have
Drinking
some alcohol he
whiskey,
likes to drink.
sitting out by the fire.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Listen.
And
Let's-
just spitballing.
Let's really hash it out right now.
Yeah, with some hash,
Yes.
with some real
With
hash.
whatever you got to throw at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I give him
He'd
my
be a
hash,
great
he might
guest,
go to sleep.
Westwood. He's gonna stew on it. That's a good thing. You get these ideas in your head, go to sleep, think about it, dream on it, ask for the questions,
Yeah.
let the universe provide those, and then you wake up with an epiphany and you're like, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
With Tiffany? Yeah.
Well,
one of these things that why I like these things, there's one silver lining that I like about these things happening, and that is that it continuously gives me the confirmation that this whole bull cycle in crypto is about compliance and legislation. Continuously, CZ being arrested,
and I think
it's
you're right.
compliance.
I think you're right, Steak. And you've laid it out from the intellectual side of it. You've laid it out from the analytical side of it. I come from the passionate, intuitive, just kind of, that side of things. And, what I've seen and the markers that I've seen, the information that, I come across, the signposts, they all fit into the schema that you've laid out. And, it gets validated more and more. I hear the things you've talked about and I see them coming up. And, I hear about digital identity. Oh, okay. We need to make sure this, and I see those things happening. So I completely resonate with where you're coming from. I just come at it from a different angle and it's all fitting together. And so, yeah, I think at some point you're going to say, yeah, I was right, because I think you are right. And it's just that I'm seeing it fall into place and the little pegs getting put, in the little notches.
The beautiful
along the
thing
road.
is, if we're right, then the question also becomes, how do we capitalize on that? Right? How do we
You're right. You have to
smartly
Because if you don't-
capitalize on that?
Absolutely, you have to. Otherwise, you're going to be just, in the electric car, the self-driving car. It's going to take you wherever it's going to go along that road. Well, maybe we can get into a position
Also-
where we can travel that road where we want to travel it, and how we.
Yeah,
want to
also,
travel
how
it,
do we-
because of the
how
tools
do
we've been
we-
provided with.
Also, how do
Clint,
we
are you
not
saying
become too
freedom?
big of a target and an asshole that the state works against you? Because I'm sure they won't like this.
You just act nuts.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the funny
You're
thing? You know what I
crazy
think the funny?
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, the funny thing I think is that the funny thing I think is that if I'm right, then I think it's a testament to how stupid Central Intelligence is. And they
He
pride
said
they,
that.
they, they
He
prize
said that.
themselves for being so clever, and it's like, dude, is this the best thing you could have come up with? I'm not impressed.
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Or how
No,
That's the
how
best
stupid
thing?
do they think we
get
are?
you on it.
Hanger
I get it.
18.
Yeah, but how stupid do they think? Who else is asking these questions?
Yeah, so that whole narrative of like the public is stupid. Yeah, maybe bits and pieces of it, sure.
They're busy. They're
But
too
this
busy. It's not that there used to
Distractions,
be a time you
busy.
used to pick up the paper and actually get news.
Yeah,
Now-
or they're just so cocky that they just know that they'll get away with it, which I think is probably true. But in that
I think
sense, I would
there's a
just
lot
say,
of
leave me
hubris.
alone
There's a
and
lot
let
of
me get my
hubris.
cut.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a
Let
lot
me
of
just get
hubris
my cut.
involved.
Yeah,
Right.
let us just take profit. We'll take profit.
A
We'll
little
take a
bit.
few
Fine,
zeros.
you take the filet mignons,
Just a
the
little bit.
porterhouses. I'll take the ribeye,
Yeah.
and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
let
can
me
have the
just
roasted
drink
cow.
scotch with you bunch in the U.S. Let
Yes,
me just
yep,
fly
yep.
over, have fun.
You can have the
You know.
$100 cigars. We'll smoke the
Yeah,
$10
have the
cigars.
tenderloin.
I'll spend
have
some.
the
I'll spend some
backstrap.
crypto in the U.S. You'll get some back. Don't worry.
Yep,
Right?
we all benefit.
Let me
Leave
just,
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Spread the
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah, we're not going to take much. I mean, it's just a small
Well,
brisket,
relatively speaking, we are, but like relatively
but
speaking, we aren't.
Yeah, we're just relative. That's just talking
$1
relative.
trillion more money than we can bring in is going to get spent next year, and that's what they talk about publicly. You know, it's going to be a lot more than that because between what was it, 1.6 trillion in 6 months from October to March? They already said, and they're saying,
I think
only
honestly,
$1 trillion more next year. Only
I think
$1 trillion.
honestly, if the pensions are fucked, we're talking about like on top of the investments, maybe we're talking about a total wealth exchange from legacy system to digital system. We're probably talking about anything close to 30 trillion US dollars in the next couple of years.
In state, that
And I
doesn't
think
sound
because
like
it's
much. It doesn't.
and I
sound
think
like
because
that
it's
much
a
anymore.
no, wait, let me hear me out.
You know what I'm saying?
If it's no, it is. Let me hear me out.
It is, but
Because it's the actual asset we're talking about. We're not talking
that's
about the
different.
derivative on the
that's
asset.
different. Yes, that's a different story then.
That's a different story. Yeah. So
And
then it's like a third of the wealth in the world that we're talking about that transitions.
If it's backed
And
by
in that
something.
Yeah, it's
Because
Veritasium
right now it's backed
or
by nothing.
Bitcoin.
It's derivatized. It's bullshit. I mean, but if it has to be backed by something, then it's a different story. If it's
I would
backed by
love
crypto-
for a scenario where we can say, I'm talking to Javi the trillionaire. It's just that would be
I
funny.
don't want it. I just give me a few million. I don't.
Just give me a
Can you
bone.
imagine
Throw me
how
some
many
bones.
granitas you can buy from that, Javi?
Yeah, no.
How many
here's the problem.
granitas? You owe it.
I don't-
You
I-
owe it to the rest
And
of the world to
grenades.
spend it. I just
Put it
want you
this
to
way.
spend it all.
Steak, if you're right, then I would be the wealthiest. That would make me, in
One
some
of 'em.
people's eyes, the smartest, which would be really, really sad. And you go, yeah, we take advice.
No,
from
you're just
Javi.
lucky. You're also lucky. You're smart and you're lucky. So it's in a
Oh.
culmination of many things.
I rolled
Some
the
things
dice
in
the
life
right
require
casino. I rolled
luck.
the dice in the right casino.
Damn,
I pulled
that's the
right
first I've
lever.
ever heard that,
You know,
but,
what are you gonna do?
And you know what?
Yeah.
Look, Westwood, are you greedy? I think a few mil.
Look
10
at me.
mil?
You see the car I drive?
He's
Come
not
on,
greedy.
Are you
man.
greedy?
He's not
Greedy.
greedy. 2-3 million, 4
Are you
million,
greedy?
he's good.
Are you greedy? Fucking hell, I'm from the States, mate.
Yeah, right. You're an American.
I think that's
aren't
what
you?
Lisa said.
It's in the water.
I think that's what
I
Lisa
filter
said
all my
down in
water.
the
That's
thing.
the thing. You know, I filtered it all out. What am I going to do? You know? That's my problem. I'm not a real American. You know.
Lisa had posted when steak comes to the States, whatever the hell that meant.
I must have missed this one. She posted
Yeah.
something about steak coming to the States.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had it up posted.
Yeah, see, I've been checked out for a week.
I
There
don't
it
know.
is.
It had gone on too long.
Oh, hang on. Let me
Okay,
check the
well-
chat. Was it in the chat?
When's steak coming to the US?
Okay. Oh, when's he coming? Okay. I
Well-
thought it was like.
well, I
when's
haven't made
steak
plans
to the
yet.
States, comma.
Well, it's either the 21st, the 8th now, Or what's the next one after the solstice and the 8th and the
Well, it's going to be the summer equinox. It's going to be a summer
Groundhog's
equinox.
Day? Maybe
Summer
Hello.
equinox.
Can you hear me?
It's
If you
coming
see a
towards
shot-
the end of March.
Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah.
Good, good. All
I
right.
gotta
I
get
just
me
had to
another
switch
margarita.
signals. Look, Lisa, I'd love to come to the US. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to meet, the people. I would be meeting for just the people.
That's all I'm
But I
here
don't
for.
know yet. I think it's going to be somewhere around just after the top of the market. It's probably
When is
one of
that
the
top of
first
the
things I'm
market
going to
gonna
do.
When's that going to be, Steak? Give us your timeline. When's the top of the crypto market?
Really?
What's your prediction?
You want to know something new? You want to hear a new
I
angle?
do. I
Let me
wanna hear
just give you a
something
new angle.
I want to hear it.
Let me give you a new angle. So here's the new angle. The new angle is second quarter of next year, we're going to go to an all-time high, and retail will sell their shit because they want to take profit. And that's the last time where, these big institutional investors will buy up every fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll close the exchanges shortly after. So you
And
won't be
that's-
able to buy anything anymore because the legislation hits in September, October. And then we're going to have the biggest green candle you've ever seen in your whole fucking life, ever in the history of everything. It's probably going to be like a tulip mania candle. I think that's what we're going to see because it's a finite resource. So buying over time is just the stupidest thing to do. You buy it immediately with everyone all at once. So it's like you've got like a group of like fat old American bankers that are running at the gunshot for the buffet, and it's not an all you can eat. It's done is done. So it's like a one time only. You just
They
run to
load it
get
up
the
one
ribs.
time, it's out there on
Yeah,
the
and if the
buffet,
ribs are
then
done, we'll never
you
serve them
go out,
anymore ever again.
The employees
So
have left
that's
the
what it's going to
building.
be. So like they want to buy the bones, they want to buy the empty plates. If it has a lick of sauce on it, they'll buy it and they want to take it
Yeah.
home. They want to buy the dishwasher for all the bits that were left in the dishwater. They want to buy that too. They want to
Gotcha.
gurgle that shit. And
We have
and
another
they want it
translation
too.
for
They
love
want
the
it all. They
imagery.
want it all.
Yeah.
They want
Treat me
to sweep it off the floor. They want to mop the floor, drain the mop,
Just
and then
scrape
just
it
have
off.
Warren Buffet hanging under it and just drinking all that shit. That's what they want. And they'll do that all in once. They'll buy the whole fucking kitchen. They'll buy the whole fucking, supply chain of everything. They'll buy the miners. They
selling.
buy the energy that provides the miners. They'll buy the chip manufacturers. They'll buy the fucking metal that goes into the ASIC miner boxes. They'll buy the people that work on the NSA that worked on the SHA-256 code, and they're like, hey, that shitty government salary you're taking, do you want to work for us for a while and just add an extra
No.
zero to it? Because we kind of need you to build this infrastructure. It's real easy work, but we'll just give you a few million. And those guys will probably be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And this whole
Yes.
thing will just get built in the most rapid way possible that you've ever seen. It's going to be like
Right.
fucking phenomenal. It's going to fund everything. And it's like, oh, it's done now. You can fuck off. Goodbye.
And
And
I'm
it's
gonna tell
we
'em.
got everything, and we buy a fortress around it, and then that green candle where everyone sold at like 120, 150K in April, May next year. The year after that, May 25, we might see a candle of, I don't know, are we going to see a 30 million Bitcoin? Let me put
Yeah.
something crazy out there. Is that what we're going to see? Is like, oh, the whole fucking money is going to go in it? Nah, probably not. We're probably going to see like a 2 million Bitcoin, I think.
5
Two
You
and
know
a
what I'm
half,
gonna
5
tell 'em,
million.
Steak?
But guess
I'm
what?
gonna
That
tell-
green candle's
I'm
going to
gonna
come
tell
out
'em,
of
treat
that
me like the
giant
pig that
castle,
I am.
and you can't get to it, right?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Treat me like the pig that I am. I don't need all that money.
I like this analogy with the dishwasher water. I think I'm going to use that again.
Dishwasher,
And the mop.
filter that
I
out,
like-
get
I
everything-
like
Yeah,
that.
Well,
everything out of it.
Jamie Dimon with his mouth open on the floor, dirty
he-
floor,
he's
drinking
getting it
everything
and
from the
just
mop.
squeezing it all
Get
out
in there,
pieces.
Jamie. Get in there, you
Yeah,
motherfucker.
they'll
Because
come here.
you know what he did? Like JP Morgan actually tripled their staff this week on
Yeah, I
crypto.
saw
If
that.
that's not a sign that you're behind, I don't know what is. It's like you should have had your ducks in order
But I would ban
years
it.
ago,
I would
motherfucker.
ban it if I were
Fidelity and
younger.
BlackRock run circles around them.
I'd ban ban it if I were in charge.
I can't
because
read that.
I
Because
want it
all the good people are already out of the market. You can't hire them. They're already positioned. And if they're really good, they don't work for you.
I think Lisa's asking you a question, but I
Interesting thesis.
Do
I
you
like that.
think the ETFs will do to BTC what fractional reserve banking did to the USD? Interesting question. So from like a paper Bitcoin perspective, yeah. I think sadly most people in crypto still don't hold their own keys.
Correct.
So they don't hold their own coins. And I think here's the funny thing. I think the exit liquidity of the class of 21, 22, and 23 in crypto are mainly in NFTs because they've been sold a whole marketing bullshit narrative of what Web3 is, like it's some sort of spiritual journey. And this NFT crazy shit with like, you know, pictures that don't make sense on a blockchain that violates intellectual property, they're probably going to have to pay a fee because they violated that intellectual property. And I think they're going to be the exit liquidity that's on the exchanges for like the paper Bitcoin. You know, that I think that's going to be changed into the last bits of BTC that's going to be bought up by exchanges. And as the exchanges default due to a lack of liquidity by like the big general institutions, the big hedge funds, then I think there is a good possibility that we'll see BlackRock, maybe through Coinbase, depends on the whole court case with Reggie. But I think that we're probably going to see them trying it, like with an IOU, like a paper Bitcoin, just like what they did with the gold market. I'm not too familiar with what fractional reserve banking did to the US dollar in 71. I'm very familiar with the social economic outcome of it. Like what the fuck happened in 1971 is a great website. Productivity basically still had the same growth as always, but wages stayed linear while inflation went up. So they kind of robbed us of our future 50 years ago. But I don't know if ETFs will do that. What I think is that pension funds are going to be pegged to a Bitcoin ETF. And I think you won't need a pension fund if you have a stakeholder economy, because you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. You'll have life as a service. So why do you need a pension? You never needed it during life. Maybe you'll get like a universal income. That's already a pension in there. So you don't need it anymore. And then those pension funds, they can, you know, be pegged to something that's immutable and holds value over time. So you don't need it to buy up equities continuously to stay ahead with the market. So you can just let it, you know, be pegged to something solid. And then they're probably going to refinance the pension. So if you got like 20 trillion US dollar pension fund globally in the West, and that's going to go, you know, tits up and gets drained because we socialize the losses, they're going to get our pension funds. Maybe it gets refinanced to like, well, it should be 10 trillion. And then the 10 trillion that they take, half of it, they'll just put that in the system to buy away the inflation. And then they peg it to an ETF, to a BTC ETF only through BlackRock. So BlackRock owns all the fucking pension funds in the whole world, or through Fidelity as well. Have a little bit of diversification, but still same team. And then they'll just manipulate the whole fucking pension fund through that. So maybe not as elaborate as fractional reserve banking did to the US dollar in 1971, but I think pensions are a very, very big pool of liquidity. It's a very intricate part of life and labor. And I also think that it's something that binds everyone to a digital identity, because if you cannot save for your pension fund or get your pension fund, you kind of need your digital identity in order to connect to it. So it's basically a sort of leverage where you say, you know, you help the US economy out, get a digital identity so you can get your digital pension fund, because otherwise you're not a patriot. So, you know, get your digital identity or be a terrorist of the state. And you know, there you got your pivot. There you got your bullshit. And 99% of the people will just suck it up. They'll download their app, they'll update it, they'll do their video know your customer with their digital banking app, get their digital pension with their digital identity, and maybe they get a cute picture on their banking card, like their NFT on the banking card, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is so cool! I uploaded a video of myself."
You take a selfie,
yeah.
You put your little emojis on the card and everything you want to do, like Cash App. You know, you sign.
You know George Carlin?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We all knew him. Yep.
Yeah, you know, there's the system that threw you fucking overboard 50 years ago that fucks you in the ass continuously with a big, giant fucking United States American dick that just keeps on piling on top of it. It's just,
they pulled you back up so they can hit you again.
Yeah, but
and drop
it's you know,
back in
they
and hit
own
you
you.
again.
The owners of this
Absolutely.
country long bought everything. They fucking
Yeah.
own you. They own
That
you,
goes
and they
ba-
don't
that
give a
goes
fuck
back to a
about you.
lot of that goes back to a lot
And
of
I think that
things.
guy was right, man. That guy
Yeah,
was
he was dead
fucking
on.
right.
Well, no pun intended. But okay, there's two things. I got to get them out because I don't have my pen here. I can't write it down. I'm going to lose my thought. You know, it's going to be lost forever in history. Not that it matters, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so one, you look at reverse mortgages. What we have in the United States, we have advertisements right now. We have Magnum PI, big television show in the 80s, you know, driving his Ferrari, Tom Selleck, you know, coming out reverse mortgage. You know, you're an old person, you know, you got $500,000 in equity. You're living in your house, but you don't want to leave. You can pull that equity out and you can spend it, blah, blah, blah. See, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy because all that you worked up for, your pension, your house, you know, whatever it is, all your assets, you know, we're going to allow you to use those things to where you can live the life you want to live right now. Why wait until you die and leave it to anybody? F that, you know, leave it right now, you know, have it right now. Don't leave it to anybody. And so this will be an opportunity for them to do that. Hey, you've got all these assets you've worked for hard for it. Oh man, get the reverse equity mortgage. And so that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is you're going to get to a point where they're going to denominate everything in Bitcoin. That's the big push. Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. My experience over the last week, and this is just one of many experiences.
Here's the thing. Here's the
Go
thing,
ahead.
Clint.
Yep.
Are we going to denominate everything in Bitcoin, or are we going to denominate everything in paper Bitcoin?
Well, that's where
Paper
I'm going with
Bitcoin.
it. That's exactly where I'm going
Paper.
with it. No, exactly, because here's what's happened. This
What
is
are we
how it's
gonna
going to
do
fold
with
in, and this is how all the maximalists in Bitcoin and think it's the best thing in the world. Okay, here's what's going to happen. The establishment, yes, it's the greatest thing in the world. You should hold all your wealth in Bitcoin. You got all these players, all these talking heads coming out. They've all switched and they're all in Bitcoin. Shitcoin, everything else. F everything else. Bitcoin only. Why? Because they can control that just like they've controlled gold. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I think this is my second point. What's going to happen is, no, I'm serious. What's going to happen is you're going to have Bitcoin and you're going to say, man, I don't want to transact in this every day on chain. This is ridiculous. I'm paying $50, you know, to go buy a cup of coffee. I'm going to pay $50 for every transaction, maybe more, just because there's only so much that capacity can hold. So why am I holding it? Why would I hold this stuff? Here, put it in the institution, let them handle it, big banks, all this stuff, and it transfers back and forth on a ledger, whatever the ledger that may be, but it never hits the blockchain. But I still have my Bitcoin and I'm, you know, I want a cup of coffee. Okay, cool. $5, $10, $15, whatever it is in the future. It doesn't matter. I'm rich. I got Bitcoin, but I'm not transacting on the blockchain. So I don't have any freedom.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that because I have all this wealth in Bitcoin. All my assets are in Bitcoin and the institutions are taking care of it. And they're going to transfer that value on a ledger, a digital ledger somewhere. They're holding the Bitcoin, mind you. And you just have a piece of paper, a statement that says you have the Bitcoin, you can spend the Bitcoin, and it's not going to cost you the transaction fees on the blockchain. Like the white paper said, peer-to-peer, you're not going to do that. No, you're going to have the institution hold it because it's too expensive to hold it and transact in it.
Yeah, dangerous.
Put it up here. Yeah, it's all the other stuff.
Yeah,
and so that's what's going to happen. They're going to control it all. They're going to own it all, and you're going to own nothing, and you're going to be happy because all that stuff that you have a claim to, they're holding it for you and making you all good, safe, subservient slave. I got Bitcoin. Hell yeah, look at this. My pension's worth 5 Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, I can do whatever I want. My house is all wrapped up into that, and they're going to transact. It's like having money on Cash App.
What's the difference right now?
You think you got money, and you say you got $1,000 on Cash App, whatever it may be, and you transfer it back and forth, but you don't have the $1,000 cash. Not that the cash is worth anything, but you don't have anything. You just have the ability to go purchase things as long as you have permission to do that. And that's where Bitcoin's going to go. And people are already pushed to that point because they know they can't use it. And so that's why they focus on Bitcoin. Hold Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. It's not a peer-to-peer electronic currency. It's not freedom. And as long as you're good with being wealthy in the system that they provide and they allow you to participate in, it's all good. Everybody's going to be happy. You're going to own nothing and be happy.
Hobby's going to be happy. Look,
exactly. And that's the way it's going to go.
What's the difference between it happening now? Let me put another scenario. You don't have any money in your pocket, but you own half of it, or you own 10, 15 blocks of New York. When you need coffee, you don't need to go and sell a piece of your real estate. You just give you it because you've got credit. and you've
Exactly.
got loans,
It's the same thing.
and they will give
It's
you
the same
money.
thing. You got credit on your Bitcoin. You don't have your Bitcoin. You don't have
Yeah.
your cash. You don't have your gold. You don't have your silver. You don't have the
You don't
underlying
have
asset.
shit.
Your name's on it, on the title
Exactly.
that somebody else
On
owns
toilet
and has a
paper.
lien on.
Has any of you seen that video of Lisa and Reggie? It's from a while back, where Reggie basically explains that when such an event happens with like a crisis, in the economy, that you have the possible scenario where the dollar loses like 25%
Yeah.
and the euro loses like 50% of value overnight. This is what I mean with refinancing that pension fund as an exit
Yeah.
liquidity and where it loses its value. So one of the problems that well, it's not a problem that I have, but it's part of how I feel about it, is on the one hand, it's the joy of potentially making it with an investment in a hobby and saying, you know what, I figured this shit out well enough to have a new skill under my belt, and I'm happy I capitalized on a hobby. Look, I'm doing great. I'm moving up in the world. There's social upward mobility. I'm increasing my living standard. All that comes with it, and on the same coin, I have the intense sadness of the damage that it does, also based on the work that I do as a social worker in welfare. And I don't know yet how to deal with that. It's like intense joy and fulfillment combined by intense grief. And it's like such a dual feeling. I'm just gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna need a good bottle of scotch on that campfire.
Well, exactly. And I've
He's
got
got
that
it.
here.
Westwood's
I've
got
got that.
it.
I've got that here, and we'll cook steaks, and I'll let you guys
Yeah.
cook them, and I'll smell them, and you guys can eat them all. But here's the thing, though. Before we had the Federal Reserve, before we had all this stuff, we were an independent nation to an extent to where, people were philanthropical. People who did well, they didn't need the government to tell them where to spend the money. What did they do? They felt it in their heart. Man, there's poor people. There's people that are suffering. I'm going to build an orphanage.
Who
I'm going to
cares?
put my name on it. And I'm going to take care of them. Okay. Or I'm going to help these people with my money that I have because, I have this guilt that, I've done so well and I feel like, oh my God, people are suffering. And so people did something about it. And that's what we do as human beings. We're like, man, I got more than I got more than I need. I'm going to help this person. I don't need government to take it from me and do what they want to do with it.
Yes. Let me decide.
We will fix this. We can fix this. They can't fix it, obviously. Leave it to us to fix it. We need a nouveau riche. We need to break free from the mindset that a centralized authority is going to fix things. We've got a decentralized form of money. And if we can all get wealthy from it by stealing the sap from the existing tree that's dying and shoot new roots up and all kinds of new roots to where we, and flower and have trees and, everywhere from that old root system, then do something with it. And that's up to us individually. You can be an asshole and die with all your money. That's fine. Hodl till your death. But, does that make you a better person? Eventually you got to meet your maker and, the spirit and God and universe and got to deal with it. But you have that opportunity to say, okay, I've done very well and I want to help somebody. And so you choose to help people. And you have that choice. Whereas right now, you do it in small ways. And if you're not doing it now, you're probably not going to do it in the future. But those people who are good are going to do good things. And I hope to see those people do very well. And
you know what I'm going to do, Clint? I'm going to do what the government does. Just ride the wild pony. And then at the end, ask for forgiveness.
There you go.
Lord, help me, forgive me, please. Boom, I'm saved.
Yes. I'm going to buy my indulgence.
Javier, with the potential money that you have, you could actually buy the Pope to give you absolution.
You know what?
We can make it a Saint Javier Day.
Yeah, he's going to come to me. I'm not going to go to him. You know what?
I'll cook the steak for Westwood.
Yeah,
That's great.
Right here, kiss it.
Westwood, let me borrow one of your rings. So I'm gonna make the Pope kiss my ring.
I got. You can buy it. You got to pay in Litecoin.
That's okay. No, I just want to borrow. I'm gonna rent it.
I'll start the fire so Javier doesn't get burned again. Oh, Javi, you got burned by the fire?
I have to. Yeah, I've been burned by
Hey,
a
it's
lot
a
of fires.
trial by fire here at Westwood. That's how we
Yeah.
roll. We go old school.
They
This is
burn
like
witches
Nordic
over
stuff.
at Westwood. Be
Yeah.
careful, Steve. They burn witches at Westwood.
Like if there's one thing I like to do, it's drink whiskey and eat steak. So I think
There's
we'll
a
do
lot of
fine.
W's here. Witches, Westwood, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No,
we do
it's
have, we like scotch. we
Yeah,
like
Lisa,
cigars.
that's the thing. Community matters. That's also
It
what Clint
does.
just said, and I think we all feel that way. I have a few business ideas in my head, a few business cases of things I want to build.
I'll run them
In
for
order
you,
to
Steve.
tackle. You what?
I'll run them for you. Yeah, why not?
Run
Hey,
them for me?
Javier can run a business. Just saying.
I can
Yeah,
run it
no,
into the ground.
I'm just I'm gonna work those out in the next couple of years, and yeah, I've got
And you
some.
didn't have
I
to
think
pay
I've
me.
got right. That's
I got
great.
more than
We
you.
know
What the
good
fuck?
leaders in
Well,
business.
you know,
people,
I just wanna be
Javier,
the
put
boss.
these things together.
Javier, I might
Community.
call you one day and just ask you to make an investment for a percentage of stock. I'll make you a good deal.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
I
like
get a
buying
lot of good
Populous
deals
with
with
the
Westwood.
ICO?
Is it what?
Huh?
Is that like buying Populous at the ICO? Hey,
Yeah.
I can't buy this, but can you like facilitate this for me? Just say.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, do it
Good.
through a five. Do it. Can you just do the 501c3?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and fund it through that way. You know, under educational purposes
Hey, we know
and
people that are good
developer
with
purposes.
charities. We got a good community here. We know people that navigate that stuff. So yeah, we can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually no, I really have. I think I really have a business idea in order to solve a little bit of the polarization in the world, and I kind of already know how I want to do it too. Like I got the whole fucking idea in my head, and I just need to write it down, get someone to code it, and I already know who can code it, and it's a lot easier than I think it would be, and it's probably going to be something like an app.
Hopefully, we can
So
get it
I'm
onto
gonna-
the App Store, Play Store, the App Store, without it getting banned.
Well, Javi will just buy Apple, so
Well, that's problem solved.
Yeah.
problem solved.
Oh, there's my
Oh,
boy.
helicopter.
Oh,
my
Ben
boy.
Bernanke! Oh, wow! Look at that fucking Nobel Prize
Yeah,
winner.
Oh, look at it.
Oh.
Look at the
son of a
beard. I mean, 200
Oh,
beard. Beautiful,
look.
man. Look at this.
Let me sit on your face, Ben.
How poetic.
Tradition.
Ben, let me just sit on your face. Let me sit
Yeah.
on your face, Ben. Come on.
Yeah, for Christmas.
Ben
Come on.
Laden.
Look,
I
look
mean,
at that
come on.
sexy motherfucker. He knows how to
Yeah.
fuck people. This guy
Yeah.
fucks.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
look at his
more.
eyes.
He's done more than Ron Jeremy. This guy
Yeah.
right here.
Right
Oh,
here.
yeah. He's the biggest dick ever.
And you know what? He can look you straight in the eye, right into that. He's trained. Look you right in the eye and tell you exactly. Listen, tradition. He convinced me. Tradition. And
Yeah, the Ben Bernanke.
Damn, tradition.
He wasn't. He didn't even have any. You know, he didn't have any credentials when he did that job. He just fucked the subprime mortgage.
Have you
He
seen
fucked
Janet
it so
Yellen?
bad.
They said,
Ah, yeah.
do you need
Fair
it?
point.
Yeah.
Do you need that? I know some people that don't have much credentials.
Credentials. It's all about connections. Credentials.
Yeah. It's all about a lack of morals.
Yeah. The connections greater than credentials. I mean, that's what it comes down
Look
to.
at my
Welcome to
boy
America.
Diamond. Look at my boy Diamond.
Yeah.
What
There's a
does he
reason
need?
why his name's Diamond, because diamonds
Damn
have
right.
really no value. They really don't. I mean, you look at the
Why
beer's
you gotta go
history.
there?
I mean, they have nothing. They have
Why you
nothing. No
gotta go
value.
there?
If you're buying diamonds, you ain't right, because it has no value. I mean, it
He
really
was a
doesn't, unless you want to cut glass.
he was a chunk of coal one day,
Yeah, exactly.
but now he's
Yeah,
a diamond.
I guess when I'm cremated, I can become a chunk of coal, or a heap of coal, and you can
Yeah,
form me
you'll
into
be
a diamond now.
someday.
Yeah, you can make me into a diamond, wear it around your neck, whatever it is. So diamonds for everybody. Westwood,
Yeah.
Westwood diamonds everywhere.
Why you gotta be that way about old Jamie? He my boy.
I'm just gonna keep eating so I'm bigger, so I can create more diamonds to pass around the world when I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly.
When I die, I want you to cremate me and spread my ashes in a Federal Reserve press conference.
Exactly. When
Yeah.
they're talking,
Oh, there's
just
oh,
like
there's
you
your
can't.
Yeah.
girlfriend now.
And then tell him this is how he would have wanted it.
Yeah, here's some well done steak card.
Oh shit! Damn. Hey, the next week is the silver anniversary for us. Is
Are we
that
gonna have a
what it is?
meetup next week or what? Y'all coming here? Come on, man. This is
Hell
a good
yeah!
time.
We come in here all
We
the
celebrate
we got
Christmas.
nothing.
We got to celebrate
have
the
no
solstice.
friends.
Exactly. Everything's going downhill. Celebrate
Yeah.
the solstice at Westwood. You're all invited.
Yeah, let's
Come on down. Up,
Yes.
down, sideways, whatever.
Oh, I wish I'd be in Texas. I may go
Alright.
down and see Lisa if she's over there.
Well,
Uh,
I
still
envy
at
you
home.
then.
I'm gonna go see my parents, so I'm gonna head over to Texas and see what that's all about. Go.
My daughter's coming north tomorrow. She's coming out of Alabama. She's
Oh,
coming
good for
home,
you,
so
brother.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see my daughter.
That's
Oh,
great.
Be home for about 3 or 4 weeks. So
I'll tell you one thing. I'm
We're gonna
gonna
watch
spend the
Alabama
second.
beat Michigan on January 1st.
Nice.
Roll Tide.
I'm going to spend the second day of Christmas with my kid, and the first day of Christmas, it's going to be the very first day of Christmas ever in my life I'm going to spend alone. So,
It's a good thing.
No dates, no hangouts.
Oh,
No.
why?
well, I've got an invitation to my ex, and the ex family-in-law is there,
Mm.
and I'm still contemplating it. But a big part of me says, if you're contemplating it, better not do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If it's not a yes right away, then it's probably a no.
Yeah.
Well, I might go
Wait,
there
so-
maybe for I might
Next.
go there maybe for an hour and go there for like my kid,
Yeah.
to give him a
That's
good time. But apart from that, Jerome Powell, I love that guy.
It's
Look
too
at that
sweet.
clean shaven. Look at that
It's too
clean
sweet.
shaven chin.
Yeah, but you know
Oh,
what?
man.
I'm getting bothered by that. He's only
You
got
gray
white people
fox.
on there. He doesn't
He's
have any
such a gray
American
fox.
Indians. You don't have an
You know,
American Indian up there.
Oh man, look at him. George Clooney couldn't hold a candle to him.
No.
Fucking hell.
You should at least put a
Look at
Pocahontas.
And the Oscar goes to Jerome Powell, the
Go
Federal
on.
Reserve. Greatest screenplay, best actor.
Skunk hairdo. Is that a fucking,
Yeah.
Hey,
fucking stripe through his fucking back of his head? I think I've had too much
Best
tequila.
best
you know a
foreign
little
best
something
foreign.
about skunks.
Well, it's not
Man,
part of the Federal Reserve ain't part of the government, so it's best foreign movie as well, right?
Absolutely.
Oh shit.
Look at that alien encounter. Great.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is what we deal with. You wonder why we're nuts.
Yeah. I want him to bring up Liawaka.
The one thing that I did find funny is like a
some
few weeks
color.
ago,
Bring some color into
few
the-
weeks,
Go ahead.
bring some color into what?
Into the picture. I
Liawaka.
mean, all it is a bunch of white guys. I need some
Come on, man.
American
we
Indian.
need a
in
little
there.
Flav going on here. Something.
In all
Liawaka.
fairness, he has a little. In all fairness, white, he does have a little bit of a tan.
Yeah,
No,
he's
just
gotta
kidding.
be a little bit European or something.
Yeah, you ain't white if you ain't reflective in the light. It's just. I never really gotten that whole thing from the U.S. I don't want to make this into a racial conversation, but I guess you already started, Javier. It's like
course.
in Europe, we don't really. Yeah, it's fair. Like in Europe, we don't really talk about white and black, right? It's just we never have. It's like we talk about you're a bloody Frenchman or a German. Fuck off. But it's
Yeah.
like even we wouldn't even consider Italians to be white, and it's just so yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just weird to look at Europe through that lens, or just people in general.
For a time
It's
in
changed a
America,
lot.
We didn't either. I mean,
Yeah,
or
it's
I shouldn't
changed
say
a lot.
we, but,
Have
America
you
didn't
seen
either.
that? Have you seen that video of that woman in? There was an African American black woman, and she was on Oprah in an interview. It was like 1 or 2 days ago, and she actually said, I don't identify as an African American. I don't want you to call me an African American. I want you to call me just an American. I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck about
that's
this
what it
whole
should be.
skin color thing of where I came from.
Yeah,
I'm an
because-
American. Call me an American. And like Oprah was actually like, you can't say this on television. And it's like she was gatekeeping the fact that she was
Gotta be a
basically saying,
gatekeeper.
fuck that shit. She was basically
be the
saying, fuck that.
gatekeeper.
I'm a proud American.
Yeah.
And it's like, see, this is like how you keep racism systemic when people
Yep.
just say, fuck this
It's
shit. I
people-
just
it's
want to
people
belong.
Like that. Exactly. It's
Yeah,
people
yeah,
like
yeah,
that on
exactly.
the
It's
mainstream
exactly,
media.
it's
The
exactly
woman,
like
the
that.
woman who makes billions of dollars and then moves to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, talk
Oops.
about, you know, a culture that says, hey, wait
Well,
a minute,
here's the thing.
outsider
So here's the thing. Hey, Clint,
coming to take all your
I,
stuff,
I have an
destroying all our stuff.
I have an honest, sincere question about Oprah. So here's this young woman, black woman in that time, that rose to power in television, and we don't know how she did it. But
Oh,
so
we do. We
what do you
have
think?
speculation.
What do you think she did? One,
No, what do
she
we
sucked
know?
a lot of cock. She
No.
sucked a lot of
Or she
cock.
drank a lot of
That
things
that
out of
Yeah,
no.
machines out of glasses.
She
I
was
don't
well
know.
connected. I'm going to put it that way.
Well,
I don't
that's
want
it.
to
You know,
go
she
into it any
was.
further.
Look, I don't
She's
know.
part of the
I don't
plan.
know what she did. I don't know what she did. She's a hardworking
She
woman.
did
Don't get me
something.
wrong. She's very
Oh,
consistent.
Really?
Absolutely.
But you don't get those chances for free. No one does.
Mm-mm.
No.
And you know what? Did
It's the
she sell
Chicago
her soul?
connection.
Oh, is that the thing?
Yeah.
Here, we got someone for you. Some European broad.
Lagarde says EU what? I can't see the rest. Regards to
I
EU
know.
inflation.
I've got it zoomed in for the photo. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh
Christopher
yeah,
Lagarde.
There
because
you
of the
go.
shiny stars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shiny stars.
It's a halo
Yeah,
around her head.
you know what the funny thing is about the European? You know what I like about the European Union flag? If you
No.
change the blue color into red, you got China.
No, imagine that. There you go. Little symbolism
Coincidence.
there, huh? No
A little
coincidences.
red and
No.
blue Eurasia.
I shouldn't say, you know, I've been making a mistake my whole time, you know, my whole life, I guess, where I've said no coincidences. I can admit when I'm wrong or when I'm not right.
Really?
No coincidences, I say. I think more than anything, there are coincidences where things coincide and come together. I think there are no accidents. I think that might be a better statement. There are no accidents. All these things occur for a reason.
Never
There
let a
are
good
not
crisis go to
accidents.
waste.
Exactly right.
Why
Never
You know
let a
what
crisis go to waste.
you know what, if you look at the Chinese language, this is a really funny thing. So let me just start with the beginning, by the way. If we look in the West to like the translation of the word crisis, I don't have to give it. We kind of all know what it means, right? It's kind of a bad thing. You're in a crisis, right? It's kind of a big negative thing, like you're really fucking in the rut, right? You know what, that the Chinese character, kanji, the Chinese sign for crisis, is the exact same as chance.
Okay.
Who's
So the
that?
Chinese look at crises as a chance.
Yeah.
So that's the same. It's the same fucking thing to them.
Yep. And that makes sense because, you know, that mentality, that culture, that philosophy of it's an opportunity no matter what happens, because you think about it, think about crashing markets, think about, you know, the Great Depression, think about what happened in 2008, think about what's happening now. There's always an opportunity. So if there's a crisis, that gives you a big window of opportunity, you know, highs and lows. And so you got to look at it that way. You know, is this made in China or something? I mean, so you've got to look at that. So that's an interesting, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, language tells us everything. If we would pay attention to the language and what things really mean, maybe we would think about things a little bit differently.
Well, it's just different viewpoints, right? And I think you want to take the best out of every culture.
Yep.
And just blend that in. I think it's also funny that if you have a crisis of confidence, you have a chance of confidence.
Yeah.
So it's just you know, it's whatever you want to make of it. But it does focus on the
it's what we call here a synonym. You know, crisis equals
a synonym. A synonym, boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on my accent.
Yeah.
A synonym.
Come to Tennessee. We'll straighten that shit right out of you, Snake. We'll
Howdy,
you
y'all.
just like Wesley. Howdy, y'all.
Come to Nashville
Oh,
next
yeah.
year.
Yeah, that's
At
it.
the Lake
Look.
Summit. If you want to go to the blockchain, Bitcoin,
I've said this
whatever thing,
before.
you can do that.
As I've said this before, as a European, if I am going to deal with people abroad outside of Europe, might as well be the Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I
we
mean,
got people like Daddy O that'll show
Hey.
you how to spit. They know how to spit.
Show you how to start a fire.
Is he a rapper?
No, he's
The language against spit.
he's a
What do you mean by
southern bred,
spit?
I guess you would call him. He just
Like
knows how to
That's
spit.
cool.
You can kill a fly with a spit.
I think we can get along.
Yeah, you would.
I think we can
He's
all
one
get
of the
along.
Westwood
That's the
crew.
thing. We can all get along. And that's the problem. They don't want us to get along, because if we get along, then we realize that we can go along without them. And that's exactly where they want us. They want us to be, oh my gosh, let's fight
Dependent.
with each other.
Dependent on the
Exactly.
fucking system,
Yep.
because they want to stay in control, because they're afraid.
And look at them. Look at them, how weak they are. Look at them, what
show me
pieces of crap they are.
show me
this
Ben
is like a bunch of
again.
inbred European kids.
But let's
Look at Biden
be
and
honest.
son.
Let's be honest, Clint. Let's be very honest. Like these people that came from old money, they're not their granddaddy that was great. You know, they inherited the shit. I mean, their granddaddy or the daddy before that, or maybe grandmother, but usually granddaddy. They were some epic fucking people that worked
Yeah.
very hard and were very talented at getting where they were.
Yep.
Fair play to them. Kudos to them.
Absolutely.
But, you know, times are changing. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
the gold
It's
hangs
easier
on the
now.
door of the generation, hangs on the door for 3 generations, right? And after that,
Yeah.
it's going to
Exactly.
get, you know,
Ask-
And that's
It's gonna
ask
go away.
Pelosi.
And
Ask
you
Pelosi.
see that cycle repeated. You know, you make all the wealth, you work hard, you do all the things, you came from nothing, you build something, then your children, they see you do that, and they appreciate it, and they get all the money, and they're like, okay, yeah, but, you know, I'm going to do my own thing. And then their children, they're divorced from it. They have no idea. They just got all this money. They have no idea where it came from. And then their children are completely debauched, depraved. They have no idea. They just destroy everything, wreck everything.
so you know what
And
I'm
then
going to
gotta
do?
have
You know how
strong
you can
people
solve
come in
that?
again
You
and
know how you
fight
can
them
solve
out.
that?
Spend the shit out
You
of
know
your
how you
money.
you know how you can solve that?
How's that?
Partly raise your fucking grandkids.
Well, there's a lot of that going on in America, so maybe that's a good thing. Because you've
I
got
think
a couple
it
of
is.
generations of people that have just completely wiped out, you know, and you know, and it's sad, but it's by design. You know, you have fentanyl coming across, you got drugs, you got all these things, you got, you know, and people are, it's just a whole, and you know that. I mean, you know how psychology works, you know how sociology works, you know what happens to people. It's sad, it's terrible, but unfortunately we go through it. There's cycles that we go through.
Yeah.
And
I
you
think
know,
Clint's
and
trying
It's
to
all
tell
human
you, Clay.
psychology. That's
I
why I
think
think with
Clint's
the
trying to-
real estate market, Javi, that's why I think with the real estate market, if you look at human psychology, we can say that the real estate market in New York or in Florida or in California is going bad. However, even when it's going bad, those are still the states based on the work, employment, based on the weather, based on where the fucking money is, that people still want to fucking live there.
where the food is, and where, you know, where the production is. I mean, where the things they need are.
So
you
this
know.
might actually be a very good opportunity to buy real estate right now, because with the interest rates going up and the commodities going up, maybe we shouldn't look at a crash from real estate based on previous numbers. Maybe we should look at where it had a small, you know, decrease instead of a big growth. And now the rates haven't changed yet. We see the stocks booming. We're going to see commodities booming. Why the fuck wouldn't retail boom the fuck out of it too? And it's going to outprice every fucking one. Everyone. But they don't fucking care. They don't
Yeah.
fucking
This
care.
time's
Why?
different. It's different. Maybe we don't have a crash.
This time it's
Maybe we
different.
don't
Yeah,
have a
this
crash.
time,
Maybe we just
This
accumulate all
time-
the assets. We just
this time we privatize.
boom.
Look, this time we're going to do it Jesus. We're going to privatize the losses and we're
world
going to
needs a lot of
socialize the
Jesus, I'm just
profits.
saying.
So we're going to pin all the profits on one guy and kill that guy on the cross, and, you know, Christianity's born.
Yeah.
We might be at that moment. Maybe we're reliving
No,
it.
We're walking on water.
The age
right
of
now.
Pisces with Christ, and with that, you know, we're entering a new age of Aquarius, and you know, things are going to change, and you know,
I
how they're going
hope.
to change, I don't know. But you
I
know, here
really
we are.
hope.
I walked
I hope.
outside last night. Side note, I walked outside last night. We're talking about, I don't know, something triggered this, but I walked outside last night because we have the Geminids, you know, the stars falling in the sky, you know, really just pieces of rock falling in the sky, illuminating the sky. So, you know, I stayed up late last night. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go out. And so
Right. I'm going to light
No.
one up.
I'm watching, yeah, pretty much. So I go out with the dogs, you know, it's like, hurry up, go poop. Oh, you already went. Hey, let's stay out a little bit longer. You got to poop again. So I walk out in northeast, got to look at the northeast. So I look at the northeast and a little bit to the west, and, you know, I'm watching the stars fall. And I'll tell you what, it's just so, you know, I thought about it because I can see the glow of the cities in the northeast. Because if you look in the northeast, you can see Chicago, the lights. I mean, way off in the distance, it puts off so much. And you can see the little
Wow.
towns putting off lights. And it's just, and I'm far away. But you can see that over the horizon, you know, well, maybe the flat Earth. You know, you can see it too, but it's whatever. You can see it's there.
I like
right?
your
That's my
correction there.
That's my reality. I don't know, whatever it is. But I mean,
It
just
is what it is.
seeing it fall and just realizing there's so much greater than who we are, it puts things in perspective. And
Oh, man, yeah.
it made me think that there are people in cities right now that aren't seeing this and can't see it, even if they want to see it. And
Clint,
I've had people come
Clint.
out here that say, "Oh my gosh, it's so dark out here." It's
Clint.
really not that dark compared to, you know, people, you know, in
Clint.
different areas of the country. But can I real quick? But the point is, to me, it's just at some point you got to realize things are greater than you are, and you know all the
Yes.
all the things we tie up all our wealth in, all our aspirations, all the things that
What
we
you
want to
talking
be,
about,
win
Willie?
Lambo, all these stupid
When
things.
Lambo.
You know, it's
Clint.
when you just go outside and look at the stars, and you got the dogs out here tangling themselves up, you know, trying to fight each other and play. And there's just something about that solitude, that peace, to where you are one with the universe. And I think that's a very important thing that so many people do not have the opportunity to do.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
should do it, to realize who they really are and reconnect with that. And you don't need a church, you don't need a priest, you don't need all these people, the intermediaries. You know, that's where blockchain, that's why
No.
I resonate with it, because it's decentralized. We are decentralized. This universe, we all come from the same source. I mean, put all this other bullshit behind and just go out with
So-
the stars, and that fixes a lot of things. Anyway.
Can you so I'm going to share with you two things. One, within a decade from now, I want to go into space.
All right, and I'll see the shooting
I'm going to
star.
pay it, and I want to look. Wait,
'Cause I
I
ain't
got two
going.
things. I want to look at the Earth from outer space just to see that. Second, I'm going to be
The
building a
flatness?
fire pit to look in the embers, look at the stars, smoke a joint, bake bread over the fucking fires, because I like that shit. And you know, you have that interaction, that real rooted interaction. I think that is actually, that's the way we did it for thousands of years.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
just go
ancestry.
back to that,
That
go back
DNA
to that,
that's in you.
yeah, go back to that connection and maybe
Yep.
remember some things you lost along the way.
Yeah, and I
And,
think we have it inside of us all the time. and
Me
it's just
too. And
reconnecting
you know,
with it.
that's just what I want to do. I want to buy a nice plot of land, build a gigantic fucking comfortable fire pit, sleep under the stars, look at the embers, you know. Gonna
Yeah,
be
that-
fucking magical. It's gonna
and you
have
know what?
Wi-Fi though.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
well, you know, you
Odd
can't
or
leave the
even,
world behind completely,
Blind
right?
Dave, take odd or even. The bread burns or the bread doesn't burn on stake fire.
The bush
Well,
that
it
burns,
is
doesn't
it is the
burn. What?
census. It's the census, right? So you look at the stars and the embers, but you smell and taste the bread, and you share that among the fire with one another, and you go back towards talking with one another next to the fire instead of on
Yeah,
our
but you're
mobiles.
chemically induced. You're chemically induced, probably with some chemicals and some liquor. I just was gonna take
Some
bets
hash.
on whether the bread would be burnt or not with Dave.
Why would it be burned? It's the easiest thing to bake.
I know, but you don't understand. People like
Well, when you
me.
pay too much attention to the stars, you know, sometimes, you know, you
Put a skillet on it, you know, bake a ribeye with that bread. Fucking hell. Live some life, you know.
Yeah. Hey, call me. I'll go there. I'll fly private.
just, we'll have Daddy O start the fire. We just won't have Javier
Yeah.
start it. 'Cause
Yeah,
we know he can start a fire.
yeah. I can catch on fire.
I'll
Just
pick you
say-
up from the airport.
Burning Man. Javier.
I'll
Burning
do it.
Man.
Stay-
We're gonna
you
have a
don't
Burning
understand.
Man next year. A Burning Man.
I'll
theme.
show up. Ask Dave. I just show up like a lost puppy dog at his fucking house all the fucking
So
time.
where are we in the market? Yeah, there's the chart. There it is. Where are we?
That's
Chime
what I
in.
like
Brett.
right here.
Bread
Get
coin.
excited. Bread coin. Yeah, there's a bread wallet.
Everyone gets a
Point.
crumble.
Get a crumb. Get your crumbs.
Anger,
Get your crumbs, yeah.
Anger.
panic,
Yeah.
maybe, anger,
Panic coin. I like that one.
dishwasher. No, that's not dishwasher. That's something else. I got
No,
it.
that's
Hope.
that's
I
the
think
normal setting on the.
Are we in
on the
are we in
dishwasher.
hope, Dave? Are we in hope?
I think so.
Yeah, I kind of feel that.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
in
I may not
despair.
be ready yet.
Well,
I'm
We
not
gotta pull
ready
it- We
yet.
got to pull you out of that. Gotta
Yeah,
get you out here
I'm-
looking at the stars in front of that fire. You'll be out of it. But this folds into everything though that we've been talking about. It really is. It's human nature. It's human emotion. That's what these charts are painting. I mean, it's everything that we're talking about. These cycles of people having wealth, passing it along, losing it, and then rebooting, and and getting back to building strong things and losing strong things. I mean, it's a cycle. Everything is a freaking cycle. Is it a 12,000-year cycle here and there? Whatever. Is it the age of this, age of that? I mean, but it is a cycle. It's just how big is the cycle? And I think in crypto right now, it's still a 4-year cycle. Could it be condensed? Yeah, it absolutely could be condensed to maybe a 3-year cycle. But that it might expand things out to where the next one's longer. I don't know. And like you said, we may have there's a lot of hope right now that things are going to go up. Bitcoin's going to go to $100,000 soon. Or Bitcoin's going to double or this and that.
Yeah, but the dollar went down.
Yeah, absolutely.
When the currencies go
They're
down
printing
and they
more.
buy into the dollar and the dollar goes down, holy shit.
Shit, we got a printing press,
There's no
baby.
faith.
Yeah, I got a printing press. What the
We need
hell?
hope. We need hope. We need some hopium. What's our hopium? Where are we at, Dave? Are you invested in persistence or not? Are you invested? What are you invested in?
Yeah,
Well,
persistence is up quite a bit right
It's
now.
been moving quite a bit. I watched it every day. It's going up a little bit
It
more.
was
a
at
little bit
40
more.
cents. It's
Did it
down
hit 40?
here somewhere.
Okay.
It was at 40
Well,
cents.
the last
morning.
time I talked about that shit coin,
Almost
Which
44
one?
cents
Litecoin?
now.
Litecoin?
It's almost
Did you
fetch-
buy-
fetch-
44.
no, fetch.ai, and I made really good moves on that.
Yeah,
really
but I
good
was
moves
in
on that.
persistence at 16.9 cents. Right now we're at 40 cents.
Yeah. I mean, it's done very well.
I've got the
last
same
month.
growth with fetch.
Yeah. And I mean, you're seeing that.
There
with
was
a lot of
I
these
think I
coins.
bought in at 25 cents. I think it's well over 60 now.
Hey, when are all my shit coins going to start growing?
Hey, Dent moved a little bit today.
Yeah.
When you
sell 'em,
caught
Javi.
that.
Javi, when you sell
Right.
them,
When you sell them for
God,
something that's valuable,
I
when you
know.
get that fire, and
when you
look at the
sell
stars,
your
you're
when
not
you
there,
sell
right?
your wallet, we're
Guys,
gonna
y'all
rally.
Y'all are going to be waiting. I still got a few pennies in my pocket, so I don't need to sell anytime soon. But no telling.
Yeah.
What's
and
the
actually,
Dent chart, Dave?
what's that?
How's Dent doing? It moved up a little bit today. How's it
Dent
doing right now?
moved up a decent amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going to bring more attention to persistence in
Yeah, that's
that
moved a
the
lot.
percentage up in 90 days is higher than that of Cardano and Pepe.
And everybody's
So-
looking at those things.
Right. And Pepe right now is,
Pepe!
wait, I got to zoom over. See, my screen, the way that I see it is different than the way that y'all see it. I have things enlarged so much. Well, I'm enlarged
put my
400
Digibyte glasses.
times.
I want to put my Digibyte glasses on. Hang on.
I'm enlarged 400x here.
There we go.
But yeah, it's.
I'm not gonna call you Grind Dave anymore. I'm gonna call you Pixel Dave.
Pixel Dave. Pixel
Yeah.
David.
It is. He's got a whole fucking wall where the TV is. When I go in there, I get overwhelmed. I'm like, God damn, Dave. God damn, Dave. Look at all
Yeah,
the
my,
numbers.
my TV, I use a projector. My TV is 11 foot wide by 7 foot tall.
I
so
walk
I
into the
use a
goddamn
projector.
coins in between.
That's not a television. That's a fucking home cinema set.
Yeah, exactly.
is.
And all, surround sound, all that. So
I'm just trying to think how awful I look.
And you
in
know
Digibug
what?
When he watches my
I guess
videos.
size does matter. Yeah.
Um,
I get
You're
overwhelmed.
larger than life.
Yeah, it is. I walk around in there. I'm like, what the shit is? Everybody's a Sasquatch over there. Any show you watch. You know what? I should be limited to one margarita.
Yeah.
no, I just went for my second. So I got
Yeah.
almost halfway into my second.
I know. I'm drinking too fast.
I've been pouring a little. You see, I got a little glass, so I pour. I probably had 4 glasses, but they're small. So
I
it's
do
all
it in
good.
shot glasses too.
Yeah.
Pour 'em in
Man's
there.
got to know his limitations. You pour those tall glasses on happy hour, and it turns into spaces. And I start
Yeah.
smacking people down for no reason.
I'm
like
gonna-
last week.
You know what, Clint? I'm gonna let me make a comment. I fell asleep. I don't know what the hell time. Then I woke up around 2, and you had two interesting people on there.
Look at the
and
volume
some
on
deep
Digibyte.
shit. But I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
It just kept going. Anyway,
It was, yeah. It's
I restarted it actually. I ended it and then I restarted it. And
I don't. Yeah, I woke up and I'm
what was I
like,
thinking?
yeah. What was
Look
I
at the
thinking to
value
get
on
back
Digibyte. Look at the real volume on Digibyte. 1.24 million. That's nothing. That's fucking peanuts.
It's a joke, absolute joke. And
It's
then
absolute.
you
What
look at
happens
the
if the block? What happens when the blocks fill up with that green candle? What
Yeah.
happens?
think about this, Steak.
No
What does
doubt.
it take to make Bitcoin double? Look at the money, the volume that comes into it. What does it take to make Digibyte double? And let's not even say that.
Yeah.
What's it take to make Digibyte go 100x? I mean, it's really
What
nothing.
happens? What happens if it becomes like a billion of volume? Right?
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
hope
It
you
It's only a
got
billion.
Take a
It's
look
only a
at Pepe.
fucking billion.
$1 billion.
It's only a
is
fucking
nothing.
billion.
We're
If
printing
we're,
$1
if we're
trillion a
going
year.
to if we
in
go to a
America.
$10 trillion market, what's a fucking billion?
Right, nothing.
Yeah,
So
because
that-
the way I look at it, if like 99% is not compliant and gonna die out, why wouldn't there be a billion? And that's just a billion.
just $1 billion. It's
We got
nothing.
1,000 of those in 1 trillion, and we got a few more trillions, and we only got what, 250, 200 assets, maybe less,
Well,
maybe
see, that's
only
the
150 compliant
exactly.
projects.
That's why I look at Litecoin right now. What's the market cap on that day? $5-6 billion on Litecoin.
The day, you know when
on
Litecoin's gonna
just
explode?
Litecoin?
You know when Litecoin's gonna explode?
Please tell me.
I'll tell you. I'll
Jeez,
tell
I
you. I'll
can't
tell
wait.
you. I'll tell
You
you.
can
It's
announce
gonna
it.
happen in
73. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna no, I'm gonna tell you because you know no.
It'll be
Yeah,
$75.
73K. So I'll tell you. So here's the funny thing. You know, a Bitcoin ETF, you know, an Ethereum ETF, and maybe an XRP ETF because they have been talking in Bloomberg about only Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also about XRP. Bloomberg has picked up on it.
Yep.
So what's the fourth one? If Bitcoin is too full with the blocks, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, perhaps? Are we going to get a Litecoin
Bitcoin
ETF?
Cash?
When the news hits that there potentially could be a Litecoin ETF, I'm not saying you should put the news out there. I would do it, but you know, I'm just saying you should. But you know, I'm not saying you should, but you should. But I'm not
Yeah.
saying it.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think you should, but I'm not saying it. You know, so just. I'm
We
just
got
not
Sigmund.
saying
We
it.
got Sigmund Freud.
But I
in the
think,
house right now. He's
Yeah,
sleeping.
if someone listening would say, you know, I have the possibility to create like a Litecoin ETF. I don't know who's listening, but I don't know if you have the power or it will be fake news. I don't believe in fake news, but I would, for shits and giggles, would just put a Litecoin ETF news out there. I'd just be wondering what happens. I just think behind the scenes, someone gets triggered. Maybe an intern gets panicked, you know, hits the fucking news button with like, oh shit, Litecoin ETF. Now we have to get out with the news too. Click. And you know, just maybe that happens. I don't know. Maybe someone, you know, gets anxious and stressed.
That's happened though.
Someone in government.
A couple
Yeah.
of years ago, somebody, a news release came out to where Walmart is accepting Litecoin, and then price goes up. And then it was, oh, well, everybody ran with it. Bloomberg, everybody ran with it. And then the price goes way up. And then, oh, well, that was somebody hacked something or did something. And I mean, but that's a good example of, like you said, the news, just the news alone, the awareness of it. Because right now, I think a lot of people don't understand what it is. I mean, face it, unfortunately, so many people pay attention to the mainstream news. And that's why, the Bitcoin narrative, that is the narrative. And that's where the money is gone. But you got to look at what it does, what the use cases are. And when things like Litecoin and Digibyte, when people understand what those are, sorry, getting smoker voice now. When people understand what those are and the finite assets that they are and what they can do, what's the limit? I'm going to be looking out here in the Northeast. I'm watching the sky, watch those shooting stars, because that's what they are.
It's fucking magical, man. What a time to be alive. Holy shit.
I know. Aren't
And
you
so
glad you
few
chose
people-
to come back right now at this time? I think we chose to come here for this time for a reason. We have to fulfill our
And
soul
one other
contract.
thing that I want to share. Do you know what milestone we're going to hit at the end of the year in December? We're going to hit a milestone, Dave. You know which one? We're going to have a
Pelosi's
half a year of
birthday.
No, we're going to have a half a year of this show.
Yeah, and
Oh.
26 will be a half a year. I was thinking like Year of the Dragon. What is he talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
No, but seriously, like how many
Yeah, half a year.
crypto shows, crypto shows are there that stay longer than half a year? I mean, look, in this
And
space,
King,
shit
3
dies
of-
fast. We're already there. Like we're doing half a year already, guys. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like we're just the consistency that we're
Just
doing
wait till
this.
the bull run really kicks off.
Yeah. and we
Oh,
got
yeah,
3
then we'll
new
have great news.
subscribers.
You know, I don't care even about the subscribers. I just think
Yeah,
it's great
one
that
of
we're
them's
doing
Cliff's
this.
Mom.
Hey, we got 18 people in this chat right now, and it's blowing up. I mean, more so than ever before. I mean, no, seriously. I mean,
It's great.
cool. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
So
it
I just
really
want to
is.
say thank you everyone for watching and for being here. Most of you since the fucking beginning. It's really great. It's inspiring. I hope we can, provide enough entertainment, but also really good content with like a different perspective on the market. I
Hey.
won't change in that. And I'm just really fucking glad I met you guys and we're doing this. I think it's fucking
Hey,
awesome.
Lisa says that Grayscale already has one on Litecoin.
They have a, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Hang
Isn't
on,
that like
dogs.
the best argument any salesman could ever give you in the store? Like yeah, you should buy this because I have one at home as well. It's, that whole argument. I've got LTC at home. Grayscale. I've got Litecoin. I got Litecoin at
Hell
home.
yeah.
You should get one too, man.
I
Just
got
get
a
it.
lot of it too.
Hey,
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
buy this
I got
bed? I
a
sleep
in my
on this
bag.
bed every night, and it gives me nightmares. You got to sleep on
I
this
hope
bed.
it goes to
You need this
74.
bed.
I just hope it goes to
It's
74.
going to go
That's fine.
74, and, I'm going to be up. I'm going to be good.
Oh shoot.
We got dogs
Oh.
barking everywhere. Every dog has its day, I guess. Speaking of Litecoin.
Boy, we
It's,
do
uh,
have people. Litecoin Lisa, Charlie G.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is,
Well,
though, here's
Jim.
my whole thesis behind it. Bear with me. All right. My whole thing is this. We got the Bitcoin white paper here. Here's the abstract. I'm going to read the first sentence. This is the most important thing. If I can get the dogs to shut up. Hey, I love you, but please shut up. A purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. That is why I love Litecoin, because I can do that right now. I don't need layer 2. I don't need anything. I can send any transaction. It's painless. I'm not getting jacked. I'm not getting jabbed. I'm not getting squeezed. And I can make that payment. Oh, Franny even agrees. I can make that payment. It is fulfilling the Satoshi white paper. And that's why I love Litecoin. And there are other coins, Bitcoin, that is the Bitcoin white paper. That is what Satoshi Nakamoto invented. However, Litecoin has fulfilled that contract with humanity. And that's why I love it. And so, the price, yeah, I mean, you look at it and, people give you crap about it, give me crap about it, but I don't care. Digibyte's the same way. It is that thing that you can send outside of the system. It's something that you can transact value in. And what value does that have when other things don't work? And I had an experience this week trying to help somebody send some Bitcoin to buy some silver. It was a nightmare. It was a real pain. I mean, it was expensive. It didn't get there. And oh my God, did it get there? Getting phone calls. Did it make it? Do you see it on the blockchain? This and that. And I'm like, why are you holding Bitcoin if you're going to spend it? I mean, seriously. Because that's what it comes down to. If you're going to hold it, just hold it. I mean, just hold the Bitcoin.
And at the end of the day, I also think like the transactions that are really, really big, eventually we're going to see economic market mechanics among miners that more and more are going to fill their blocks with like the biggest block reward possible, the biggest fees possible. And so it's basic economics. It drives their model. And right now it's only like 1% because, you know, they have like this code of honor among 99% of the miners that they basically, you know, first come, first go with a transaction. But I think we already see that a little bit right now with Ocean that's been going with the ordinals, and they say, you know, fuck that whole shit. I'm gonna go with that, you know, not first come with first go, but like the highest fees. And I think we're gonna eventually see more of that. Even if there's gonna be miners from BlackRock or Fidelity or Vanguard, if they come into that space, they're gonna change that or try to change that. And we might see more miners going for bigger blocks because they've been bought or are miners of the big hedge funds. So what happens is that Bitcoin will do the big transactions more and more. They will just be the consensus model of big transactions. So if that happens, the blocks fill up because, you know, basic retail or enterprises, they won't be able to trade with Bitcoin because the miners won't do it. It's just going to get, you know, it's going to be filled. So that's where you're going to get your Litecoin. You need another proof of work UTXO. And what's the best proof of work UTXO after Bitcoin? It's not Lightning. It's not on chain. Maybe it's Bitcoin Cash, even though I don't agree, but maybe if they're going to use it. But even then, they would still need fucking Litecoin. They would still maybe need Digibyte. I think there's going to be plenty of fucking things to go around where retail will suddenly have to look at other alternatives. And they're going to go with, like, first, they're going to go with more decentralization because that's what they believe in with Bitcoin. And they're just going to get pushed out. And miners might not like it, but that's where the big fight will come next with miners. So what is going to happen? Are we all of us going to buy like a Raspberry Pi and run our own node? Is everyone going to do that? Is everyone going to run a node of Bitcoin and Litecoin, maybe Digibyte? It's just because with Digibyte, with 5 algorithms, you know, you're not gonna
Much
just
more
do it with ASIC
decentralized.
miners. Yeah, because even if you put all the hash rate of
It's
Bitcoin
more
on
of
it,
money for the people, and that's what it's all about. It's money for the people.
no,
That's what
it's
the
the
Satoshi white paper
algorithm.
is all
So
about.
the SHA-256 is only 20% of the algorithm. So if you position all your fucking Bitcoin miners as Fidelity and Vanguard to Digibyte, you still only get 20% of the fucking blocks. And so there is some protection there. There is some innovation there, and I think it holds value, even the way it is already. I think it holds value.
With
And it's
real-time difficulty adjustment in 15 seconds, so you better make it count.
yeah. So as those blocks fill, those volumes will fill up. I think 1 billion still is a joke in volume for something as Digibyte. I think we could definitely see a lot more. Clint, you're still on mute.
I know I'm talking to the side here. My daughter just got home. The dogs are going nuts.
So a doggy bite.
Yeah, dogs going nuts. Yep.
Hmm.
No, and I mean, and you see that now, and Dave, you can attest to it. You've been around long enough. You've seen it time and time again. What happens? The blocks fill up. 2017, transaction fees go up. You see it with Ethereum. I mean, it gets clogged. It gets congested.
Yeah,
You've
with
got other
Ethereum, the problem
protocols
is
out there.
everyone stakes it. There won't be enough fuel. So at some point the fuel will be gone, and that's when the staked price will actually go down and the whole fucking thing collapses and you actually lose your staked Ethereum. So it's just you get everyone that's going to stake Ethereum and is not watching the fees is going to get fucked at some point. And that's definitely going to be a trap for some people in retail if they don't know what the fuck they have to look at.
And
If they don't understand
because,
liquidity, they're going to get fucked by it.
and when you want to use it, and that's when you get burned, and you're like, why does it cost me so much to move this? I only wanted to do this, and why does it take so long? Well, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Well, why do I have to pay that much? Because is the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it works.
How fast do you want it over there?
Yeah, well, that's just
You want
it.
it faster? Pay a
If you're
little bit
buying a
more.
house, if you're buying an island, if you're buying a Lambo, it's not such a big deal. You're waiting 7 hours at the car dealer anyway. So is what it is. But if you want to get in and out, if I'm selling somebody something, I want them out of here. Pay me in something that I can get you out of here. Because I don't want you hanging around. Pay me some
Blind Dave
pay me some light.
Blind Dave
Get
and
out of
I
here.
felt that. Blind
Oh.
Dave and I felt that.
It's painful
Just get on
when
out
you
of
start
here.
using it.
Westwood's over. Go.
Yeah, let's get out of here. See ya. Take your fire burned hand, put it on the steering wheel, and get the F out.
Yeah.
With the skunk dog.
With the
Yeah,
skunk dog, I don't
you,
care.
the smelly dog,
Buy your
your
own lemon
burnt
juice,
hair,
do whatever
get
you
the hell
gotta
outta
do.
here.
Get the F out.
Get the hell out of here with all that burnt shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, y'all got to learn. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's got to learn at some point, every
So
cycle,
when's the
everybody
next
has to
one?
learn.
When's the next Westwood?
It'll be an equinox,
I just so
solstice.
it's because you have it on those fucking weird days, and they don't jive with me. I don't know what the hell it is about it. I blow myself up. I have a lot of hard times during that time. It wouldn't be the tequila, would it? I
Burning
drink a little
Man.
bit
I'm
more.
going to rename it
It's-
Burning Man because, last Burning
Yeah.
Man, is nothing but a flood. So, we're going to come here next time. We're going to have a,
Well, take a look
gonna have
at
a
some of
bunch
your
of people.
friends.
Yeah,
Take a look at
trust
some
me.
of your friends, Westwood.
And you
Pauly
wonder
P.
why I don't
Really?
get out much.
Pauly P?
It's like they all come here and I'm like,
Yeah, I went into Normie Land yesterday. I bumped into this lady at Lowe's. And she's telling me different things, like she's now a multimillionaire because of real estate and rental property. And I was telling her different things. Congratulations, I'm happy for you. The other things that crossing my mind is, first thing, are any of the properties that you own paid for? She had inquired a little more about me, and I mentioned a little bit about crypto, and she she doesn't, or this, I would say most of the population in Normie Land don't understand that the easiest or the fastest way to send money is to actually put the money on a plane and fly it there. Because Swift takes 3-5 days. That's if it shows up. All these, and she was trying to discuss with me, why do we even need crypto? And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like going back and forth with her. It's like, well, how many patents are in your cell phone? Do you understand that every single thing that you do on a daily basis will soon be adopting crypto and will be integrating into crypto? It's everything redesigned, the internet re-envisioned. I mean,
think about this: when you buy a house, and
Dave.
you got to go buy the bank loan. You got to get the bank loan, and so that takes intermediaries. Okay, they're going to look it up on a computer. Oh, here's your credit score. Here's this. Here's your interest rate. All that stuff can be automated. I mean, all the contractors that
Title
have to come
company.
out, yeah, exactly. Titles, all that stuff could be integrated and can be done seamlessly. And then I've sat at closings to where I bought a house, and hey, they're going to the bank, getting on the phone. Oh, hang on, in the lawyer's office. Hang on, I'll be right back. Did the wire come through? Oh, not yet. Okay. And so you wait on the wire, and then the wire, that's not the best way to send money. I mean, that's got all kinds of issues with it. And it's just, I mean, if things aren't working correctly, none of this works. Crypto can make all that work because it's
I think you have to
validated.
think. I think you have to think bigger. I think you have to think bigger. I think if you look at like the whole infrastructure being remodeled and integrated into blockchain, I think you should think about the possibility that every single fucking thing that's electric going to be in contact with a digital infrastructure and an encryption. Everything electric. Look at around you in your room right now. Look at everything that has electricity. Every single
Everything
fucking
does.
thing.
Everything
And
does.
everything
They
you're
wanna-
looking
they wanna
at
push that
will
harder.
run,
More.
everything you're looking at will run on a fucking blockchain because it needs encryption. It needs your data there to be encrypted.
It needs
Doesn't mean
proof.
it has to be a financial market, but it needs encryption.
Yep.
So it's just fucking phenomenal. It could be
Look at
your
Ledger.
glasses.
Look at
It could be
Ledger.
your
You think
phone.
that's- you
It
think
could be
Ledger's
your
safe?
smartwatch. No, it's everything. It could
I
be your
know.
smartwatch, your phone, your glasses, your refrigerator, your washing machine, your vacuum cleaner. Hell, it could be the chip in your dog. It could be fucking everything. It could be the light bulbs around you. It could be Dave's fucking 10-story home cinema screen. It could be fucking everything.
Yeah.
And you
Gonna
think
need a
about this.
huge ass encryption.
Well, think about the Internet of Things. All right. So what's the real
Yeah,
case?
exactly
Okay.
that.
You got the Internet of Things. My refrigerator's out of beer. It says, "Hey, order more beer." And
Yeah,
and
because
guess what?
everything is
somebody hacks.
because
What if
everything is
somebody hacks it?
tokenized, right? Everything is
Exactly.
tokenized.
And then it's paid for. Boom, it's got its own wallet. But what if somebody hacks into that? Because it's a centralized system and it's going through Maytag or something, or going through whatever company, and they're handling the data. If they're handling
How
the
are
data,
they?
somebody
Yeah,
can
exactly.
hack that. Next thing I know, I got a pallet of beer, and it's like I can't drink all this beer. I'd like to, but I can't. And
Really?
then it bills me, and it's like there's a need.
Not
for
if it's
having a
Budweiser or Bud Light.
well,
No,
Bud
it
Light,
have to
yeah, I
be
can have
Miller
all I
Light.
want. I need all I want. Bud
Hey,
Light, they'll just deliver it for free
Clint,
because nobody wants to drink that.
didn't Tesla say send back 2 million units because the system, the software system in it had a bug where it would stop at things it shouldn't stop?
Well, here's what happened with
Can you
that.
imagine? Can you imagine if your electrical vehicle gets hacked and it
Yep,
sends you to the left on the road?
exactly. Yep.
You can't do that shit. It needs encryption.
Exactly. And then go watch that movie, the big thing everybody's talking about, Leave the World Behind. You had all these Teslas crashing because somebody hacked into them because they were supposed to go to a destination. They
Oh, I
boom,
didn't
boom.
see that yet. I'm gonna see
Yeah,
it this
go
weekend.
watch that. Go watch that
It's
on
good.
Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of telegraphing in there, and it was directed, or I should say, executive producers were the Obamas. So that gives you a little insight. Yeah, but I mean, you think about that. There's a need for that encryption, for that identity, to know that you are the one making the purchase. You are the one sending the command. And then you see what Elon Musk has rolled out with these robots, that he's talking about right now. Everybody's going to have a robot kind of thing. And you look at it, you're like, wow, these things are pretty advanced. And if everybody has one of these to make their eggs and make an omelet, holy cow. You don't want somebody hacking into that stuff.
Look, I don't like one bit about those robots because those
I don't
women,
either.
they might not need those women might not need a husband anymore.
Yeah. I want
They
two
might steal
robots.
your crypto. They might take
I
all
want
the
two
stuff and go.
robots.
But I mean, that's the necessity of where we're going. If we want to have the Jetson world, where we thought we were going to be in the 60s, that everything's going to be automated and everything's going to happen, there needs to be an element of, I know that my money, my commands, what I want are going to be safe. I ordered that. I did that. I authorized that. And right now, when you have a central authority, it's like your Ring doorbells. It's all centralized. They can see everything that goes on. They have control of that stuff. It's all in the cloud. Okay, so we need to have some sort of mechanism that allows us to have control of that data, because that's really, we're living in a world of data. And if you don't have control of that, somebody else has control of that. And every day, something got hacked, medical system gets hacked, this and that, this corporation got hacked because they didn't have right, Ledger gets hacked, they didn't have the right security, this and that. I mean, who wants to live in a world like that? Now the vampires want us to live in that world, but that's not the kind of world I want to live in. I want to have something, that the blockchain secures, and I know, okay, my DigiID takes care of that, or whatever it may be. I have no problem authenticating, but I want to make sure that I'm authenticating. It's my fingerprint, it's my eyeball, it's my soul, my spirit, my element that I'm giving over to allow that transaction to occur. That's a necessary thing. And if that doesn't happen, then we're lost.
Hey, Lisa put ETHgate, and then she puts yes when you can run a node on your phone. I think that we're coming to that time where they were talking. I remember Cliff saying that, where the coins would be chosen for you. You would have a certain amount in your wallet, and the best deal would come out. And everything was being. I think that's what Hitler was supposed to do. Your identification, your passport. You could.
Yeah,
go to the
and
doctor,
what and
insurance.
where does your phone run on a telecommunications network? What is
Yeah.
ORAN? What is the ORAN
Yeah.
Alliance with that whole restriction bill that we were just
Open
talking
Radio
about in
Access
the beginning?
Network. Open
Yeah,
Radio
that
Access
Mark Warner.
Network.
They got it
It's just
already.
it's full integration of the Western infrastructure. So we're going to see more integration between Europe and the US from a digital perspective. It's just going to make things more efficient. I think we might actually see a trade agreement with that TTIP. I think we might see a free movement of people and goods and services, because you need specialists in Europe and in America to build this infrastructure. So you kind of both need them, and people are just going to fly across the pond and work a little bit in the US and work a little bit in the EU and build the same shit. We're going to see more and more integration. That's going to be the answer of the West to BRICS. We're going to have a very efficient monetary system. Fuck you with your gold system. We're still going to tokenize everything and digitalize and speed up. Not fractionally, but we're going to speed up things from an efficiency point of view. I think that's the way we're gonna win it.
Hey, Dave, it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
Spaces, Dave, spaces, spaces.
Well,
I don't know
I'm
how
just
to do
joking.
that yet.
We gotta
time
get on
flies.
Just letting everybody know what trying to be Big Ben and letting everybody know what time it was.
So after this video, is someone like Clint, for example, gonna host a space tonight on Twitter or what?
No, you do it, State.
Probably not. That's a Friday night thing. Thursday nights
I'm
don't
gonna
work
go to
out
bed.
so well. But yeah, there you go. I thought you were gonna go to bed an hour
And I'm
ago.
too
Come on,
stupid to
man.
do
I'm
it.
glad you were engaged. Have you been entertained? That's the
Yeah.
key.
Aren't you entertained?
Are you entertained?
You can't handle the truth.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Are you entertained? Hit one.
That's
if
your
you are.
solitude. That's
Hit
your
two if
fucking
you're not.
fortress of solitude.
Gotta have it. Gotta have that
Yeah.
fortress of solitude. Speaking of fortresses of solitude, we've got a 15,000 Digibyte giveaway.
Become a
It's worth
future
how much?
millionaire. Subscribe and become a future millionaire.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're trying to get 2 more.
Join the 15,000 Digibyte club. Join the 15,000 club.
Yeah,
Our
so
silver anniversary. What are we doing for our silver anniversary?
Look, 5 or 10 years from now, when I say join the 15,000 club, that will make sense.
well, I call it the 7-figure club. Because the goal throughout Digibyte was to own 1 million Digibyte through this bear market.
Yeah, now, but
Hopefully-
in 10 years from
hopefully-
now, that number will be
Well, no,
a lot
I'm
less.
saying almost 8 years ago, that was the rule of thumb, was to own 1 million Digibyte and you'll be fine. So I kind of wanted to. I wanted to years ago actually. I thought of it calling it the 7-figure club. So anyone who's got 7 figures worth of Digibyte, you're in. It was like, at that point, I'm not asking people to submit your whatever to verify and all that. It's blockchain can be used for that, but that was not my intention for you to dox yourself, with the 7-figure club. It was just to bring more awareness of like to own 1 Bitcoin or to own 1,000 Litecoin or to own 10 Monero, stuff like that. So it was 1 million Digibyte back in the day, and I kind of wanted to bring that back. And so yeah, I called it the 7-figure club. But yeah, I get what you're saying with the 15,000 club. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, and at 1,000 subscribers, this was $100. We're up 28% on this one wallet. So, and this is the wallet that I'm going to use for the channel and whatnot. It's already doxed through my other account, which I use to travel the US and, give a donation or two here or there or interact with other people with Digibyte. But yeah, to bring this up one more time before we go. Also, something else I did want to mention is for the latest Digibyte news and to interact with, go to the Digibyte Discord. There's a lot more coming on Discord. Seems that's where the latest information is on Discord. Join the Digibyte Discord, where there are over 1,000 right now and growing stronger. But now there's
also educational videos there. It's very good educational videos.
Yes,
and I think they're also putting them on YouTube now. So,
can't you vote on it, Dave?
Yes, that's that. Well, no, that's not on the videos, but the vote is something totally different. So, with the Digibyte Foundation being dissolved, for probably a few reasons, yeah, I'm gonna stop. Just leave it alone. Just
thank you, Rudy.
as it is. Right.
Well, thank you, Rudy. Yeah, thank you.
But anyway, that amount is going to then be going towards a developer, and it was a vote to then vote for a developer. And right now, leading the pack, the first one is Jared Tate. Me personally,
I voted for someone else.
Well, I have not voted yet. The second is Matthew
Renzo?
Cornelius.
Ah,
No, the second is Matthew Cornelius. Third in line is then Renzo. And my
Renzo!
thought was, first off,
Renzo!
where was Yoshi in that? And okay, the other thing that I thought was like when Jared came out and said he only owns 1% of 1% of the total supply, he's basically spent all of his Digibyte for who knows what. But you know, the community pulled together, and it was my understanding the community brought up like 50,000 Digibyte for Jared, just as a donation, a GoFundMe, whatever. And Jared turned his nose up at it. Not turned his nose up at it. My opinion is it was a conflict of interest, and he's trying to
Probably.
separate himself there. So I get it, but at the same
Can we-
time,
can we
why
send it-
why
can we
waste a
send it to
vote
Rudy?
on Jared?
can we send it to Rudy?
You got to
You
vote
think he
on it.
needs it?
I didn't. The only ones that I saw. Well, let me explain this too. So with Renzo is doing a lot, but
Yeah.
with what Renzo is building, he also needs DigiAsset Core on Core. So DigiAsset X on the Core protocol in order to build what it is that he's building. So my vote currently would go to Matthew Cornelius, because that needs to be done. And also what Matthew has
Well,
done,
split it with-
what Matthew is doing is that. So, and my thought was with what he's doing with the Digi assets is like any other UTXO that has 80 megabytes of storage could then also utilize. So maybe this would be a better way of doing ordinals possibly on Litecoin. So my thought was maybe throw a ransom out there, or a not ransom. What do you call that? Where you put it out there
Kidnap?
for people. But anyway, for the Litecoin developers to
GoFundMe.
just take a look at it and just see what you think of it. That was going to be where I was going to go with that.
Hey,
Dave, could
David,
you add like an extra layer with like donating that money through the Digibyte Alliance 501c3, doing it through that way?
No one has mentioned that yet.
Because that would actually be very cool in using the whole fucking infrastructure. It would kind of pave the way.
Right. Well, I mean, this is just a wallet with a balance that was left over for the foundation. So it's just like, why not donate that to a
I don't know. The
developer?
foundation is in the Netherlands. So if we can, make a hub from the EU that we can tap into that 501c3, maybe we can make the 501c3 outside of the US as well. Tie Europe into it. That could be interesting with the whole LCX thing.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it's got
Maybe I should look. Maybe I should look into a business model there, since I'm in the Netherlands. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Gives you something to do, Steak.
See if I can make a Amsterdam-Liechtenstein connection. Let's have a look at that.
Hey, Dave, would you take donations to this wallet right now? And
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Maybe next time when we have hashed it out, maybe put a QR code up there or something.
Give me just a sec.
And then somebody can
straight
scan
to
it and
it.
send a little Digibyte to it, and we can build that up. And I think
There it is, right there.
There it is. So if
And
somebody
then we
wants to
could,
donate to that,
we could vote on our own and send it directly to the person.
send it to
that we
Dave, send
want.
it to, that way the community gets it. We get some sponsorship, as far as, the people watching, we can feed that back to the community. You can use it to build the channel. You can use it to get information out. And that's always a
You
good
got
thing.
a week to think about it, Dave.
Yeah, it's a tip jar. So
Exactly.
tip jar, and I don't need any of this for myself personally. So this is going to be used for other things, in the future, whether that be at different meetups, traveling the US and meeting up with other people and giving Digibyte away and
Spreading knowledge,
going back and forth
adoption.
to show them different wallets,
Yep.
that kind of thing.
No, that's good.
So
Yeah,
but,
Digibyte, scan that QR code, throw a couple Digibyte, and let's see that balance build. And next week when we come back, there'll be a little bit more, and we'll just keep building it. And at least 15,000 is going to get given away. And hey, by May, how much is that going to be?
Don't know.
then, yeah, exactly. And then the rest of it, you know, it goes to a good
$132,
cause.
45 cents.
21 cents.
Yeah, 21 cents. That'd be nice.
21 cents on the Digibyte. So what would that be then?
It'd be a lot more than it is now.
Yeah.
Soak
Yeah.
those dollars up. Sponge
That would
those
be
dollars up.
$3,000 at 21 cents.
Well,
Little
there you go.
right over 3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Soak up those dollars, you know, get those, you know, exit that vampire casino and put it in something that you can actually use in a peer-to-peer
Seems like
basis.
a solid fucking price to win.
Sounds good to me. 21.
Yep.
Hit me. No. I'm good.
All right,
That's it.
guys. So that's it. Want to thank all of y'all for showing up. This has been Let's Hash It Out, episode 23. Want to thank
24.
everyone for showing up, tuning in while you're cutting the grass, driving home from work, whatever it may be. Tune in every Thursday evening, 4 p.m. Central, 5 Eastern, 10 London. So with that, y'all go make it a day. Love you all. Later.
Bye.